Thank you for visiting ChristopherMedia.net.
The first bet on Caesar Sportsbook app is up to $5,000 risk-free, people. When I told my team about the idea, they said I was being too wonderful and magnificent. But I don't care how awesome this makes me. I'm doing this for the people. So just download the app, and that first bet is up to $5,000 risk-free. Caesar made an app for the people.
Must be 21. Offer valid in New Jersey only and for new players. Paid in bet credits. Terms and conditions apply. See Caesars.com/promos. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
What's up, New Jersey? Do you want to go to college for free? If there's anything the pandemic has taught Americans and the people of New Jersey, it's that we have to be adaptable and stop putting off our plans for the future. So whether you've recently graduated high school, stuck in a job you don't love, or simply wanting to learn new skills and make more money, the Community College Opportunity Grant can help you secure a life-changing opportunity. Accelerate your path to wealth and opportunities today by visiting njccog.org to learn more about a debt-free degree with CCOG.
At Total Wine & More, expert guides like me can help you make the most of summer. If you're grilling burgers, add blue cheese and pair with Carbon Cabernet Reserve, rated 92 points.
Wondrous selection, expert guides, totally low prices. Total Wine & More.
Thank you for visiting ChristopherMedia.net.
There's some whores in the house.
The dulcet
There's some
tones
whores in the house. I said certified freak. 7 days a week.
Welcome to Gen Exhausted. I'm Chris.
Wet as
I'm Rich.
pussy.
I mean, Richard Cheese. The genius of Richard Cheese was kind of let you know how ridiculous popular music is getting.
Baby.
Absolutely, yeah. And I mean, you know, hey, whatever. First found him, or first heard him, I think like a lot of people, in the Dawn of the Dead remake with his Down with the Sickness. Because it was like right in the middle of the movie montage that showed like, you know, their life in the mall, hiding from the zombies. And I was just like, I remember in the theater going, what the fuck is, what?
I'm not trying to get all hipster on you here, but it took you that long to learn about Richard Cheese? I knew about him in high school. He's been around for a while.
Novelty stuff like that really wasn't on my radar until I was older.
Because I think he started with doing things like grunge songs and stuff. Like, I think that's where it all, like, he was doing like, I think it all kind of was a play. Like, remember how Pat Boone did a metal album or something like that?
Oh yeah.
I think it was kind of like a play on that. Like, so
that's about 96, 97.
Yeah, let me see if I can find when his first album came out.
Well, I mean, if he came out after the Pat Boone album, I think the Pat Boone album came out in like the mid 90s. That was an interesting thing. I dated a girl at one point who had a cousin who. He was on the spectrum, and he loved Pat Boone, and he loved metal, and he was all about this album, and it was completely 100% genuine love and affection for this Pat Boone album, and it was just like,
wow,
I can't, like, it'd be like telling, I don't know, it'd be like telling your boy who's stupid and thinks strippers really like him that it's all bullshit. You know it would destroy him, so you're just like, let's let him run with it. Whatever. Who's he hurting? Pat Boone's metal. You know what I'm saying? Like, whatever.
Okay, I guess I'm wrong. Richard Cheese's first album out in 2000, so maybe it just feels like the 90s to me.
Everything's 5 years ago. What is it? What is it they say?
5 years or 15 years ago.
Yes. Everything's 15 years ago. Yes.
Okay, well, to be fair, there are like grunge. This is why I thought it was in the 90s, because this was the first Richard Cheese song I ever heard.
Here's one for the ladies. Rape me. Rape me, my friend.
So.
Come on, rape me.
Jesus.
Oh, well, speaking of grunge, and speaking of obviously somebody's looking for a paycheck. Did you hear about the kid that's on the cover of the Nevermind album?
Yeah, fuck him. Like, really?
By the way, hold up. Didn't he recreate this cover so far 3 times?
Yeah.
Including the last time was 5 years ago for the 25th anniversary?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, this is a cash grab. This guy is a tool. What's his name? Spencer fucking whatever. Like, yeah, he's trying to call it child porn. Like, really? At 31? Okay. It's...
dude, cool. I'm just like, hey, someone trying to get a paycheck or some bullshit. Sure.
Gary Graff nailed it. He said, this guy is asking for just enough money that he'll get paid to go away. Because he's asking for like $150,000 or something like that. So, like, yeah. Dave Grohl just have to cut a check. And
so so hold on. Because this is essentially, if that's what he's asking for, you're essentially saying that, and since it was child porn, that your innocence, whatever virtue, is only worth $150,000.
Right?
Okay. Well, at least you know that you're worthless, pretty much.
From what I've heard, the only legal leg he's got to stand on that will probably bear fruit is that his parents, I guess, they didn't sign off on it. They were just given money. So apparently there's like no record of them, like, so apparently that's the legal leg he'll have to stand on that will probably get him paid. Is instead of a release and all that, someone just went, hey, here's $200. Let's take a picture of your kid. And they went, okay.
Sure. Then why don't you sue your parents for making a bad business deal? You know what I'm saying? It's just, on top of that, he's cashed in and profited off it by recreating it. Now he's going to come out and say, oh, I mean, dude, I'm surprised. I was groomed. Groomed?
By who?
By what?
Yeah. You never met the band.
You're a newborn. You know how you groom a newborn? Change their diaper, put a titty in their mouth when they cry, and walk them till they go to sleep in the middle of the night. And if that's grooming them, then every parent in the world's guilty of grooming their newborn. You can't groom a newborn because there ain't nothing to fucking sit there and appeal to, except for the most basic survival needs. Oh man, it's just, yeah. I don't even see this as like, because I mean it is 2021. Even though for a minute there I forgot it. Jesus, it's nice when you have those moments. I'm looking forward to Alzheimer's. But shit, I'm kind of shocked that there isn't like a, what do you call it, like a backlash to it, because, you know, of course, since it is 2021, people, and anytime there's a story like this and there's a comment section, it's the standard stuff, and I'm just like, y'all culture warriors, like, I get it, but at the same time, bro, this is a cash grab wrapped up in the flag of, oh, well, hold on a sec. Let me find the most vile thing and use the language of the day to describe it, and then act like that happened to me. Nothing happened to you, dude.
Yeah, it's a cash grab wrapped up in a virtue signal.
Yeah. This is why victimhood as a defense, it works for a while. And then eventually people are just like, yeah, everyone's a victim, dude. Everybody's got a story. And next.
To me, if this is pornography, then Venus de Milo's pornography. Michelangelo's David is pornography.
You know who has a bet? First of all, I've never, ever even thought that anybody I know personally has ever looked at that album cover, and it's Nirvana's Nevermind. So these are people who've lived with it since day one and remember it since day one and sexualized it.
Absolutely. 100% correct.
I mean, and it's to the point where the only people, like, remember they airbrushed the dick out on like some of the more
the Walmart version, or Kmart,
essentially, yeah, whatever it was back then. Only like the hardcore fucking collectors who want like the very first printing, the very most original, the most in close to the band's vision for their packaging for their album. Only they even go, well, I want one that doesn't, you know what I'm saying, it's not edited. But even then, I'm buying that because I know them. They're huge Nirvana fans. They have a shrine to Kurt Cobain in their house, not to baby dicks. So I'm not, you know.
Hey, you don't know their personal life.
That's true. I mean, I've never looked in their hard drive, but I think the daughter of one of the guys from the Blind Faith album have a better fucking argument that she was exploited and used as fucking child porn for an album cover.
See, now that album is an album cover I look at and I'll be like, I remember looking at it for the first time being like, is this cool? Now that I could see people being weird about that album cover because that's like a nude 11-year-old girl. But yeah, no, this is It's a baby. This is a baby. This is a fucking baby. If you sexualize a baby, the problem is with you.
Yeah, I mean, kind of the point is a newborn comes into this world completely full of anybody's bullshit, prejudices, brainwashing, and immediately we get them to chase that fucking, start trolling. Hey, come here. It's going to be about this for your entire life. Might as well get used to it.
Yeah.
I mean, whether you agree with the fucking message or not, it's a fairly on the nose album cover of, you know, you come into this world one way, the world makes you the way it wants to make you. Ultimately, we all serve the almighty dollar.
And then the irony was that album sold a fuck ton.
Yes.
That album made the band who made it very rich in the biggest form of irony ever. The biggest demonstration of irony ever, I should say.
Yeah, fuck that. I can't even say it was rewritten because it was written the minute he pulled the trigger that, oh, he didn't want this. And it's like, yes, the fuck he did. Talk to everybody who knew him.
Yeah. Like everyone always talk, what do you always say? Like he tried to be, and that was the thing in the 90s too. A lot of these guys tried to say their first concert was something, you know, some crazy, you know, indie thing. Like, you know, what STP tried to say they all met at a Black Flag show and all that shit. You know, I remember Kurt tried to say something. His first concert was, I want to say like Bikini Kill or the Melvins or something like that. And one of his classmates was like, no, fuck that. His first concert was Sammy Hagar. I remember talking about it. He was geeked in class and he came to school the next day wearing a fucking T-shirt.
Exactly. I mean, that's the one thing that irked me about the whole grunge. Well, I guess the perception that a lot of bands got caught up in, because when the biggest band in your quote-unquote musical movement, which was at that point Nirvana, gets caught up in, we have to spin this fucking mythical tale of this childhood that I've just been righteous since day one. When I popped out the pussy, I came out righteously. You know, it's like, no, the fuck you didn't. You were just like everybody else, dude. And here's the deal. Ultimately, aren't we all musicians? Don't we want to write a good song? Isn't that what it ultimately is about? And so why was it, oh, I could be influenced by Gang of Four, but I can't be influenced by the Beatles if I'm in this scene? And the Beatles had a bigger influence on Kurt Cobain than Gang of Four ever did.
And Kurt Cobain was a great songwriter. That's what I don't understand. Like, shitty musician, great songwriter. Plenty of those. Like, the guy knew how to write a hook. The guy knew how to write a song. There's no shame in that. I mean, look at your drummer. The guy's managed under, you know, arguably, I mean, Dave Grohl's going to be in the rock billionaire club pretty soon. And Dave Grohl, who knew the drummer of Nirvana was such a good songwriter? Makes me wonder how many of the Nirvana songs he might have wrote the hook for and we don't know about. Because I know there was some where, like, I think, what was it, like Marigold or whatever? It's one that he wrote and sang and whatever. But I just wonder, some of these hooks, you know, where maybe Kurt Cobain got the credit, Dave Grohl was like, hey, why don't you try and sing it this way? You know, it's just 25 years of the Foo Fighters. I mean, the man's a good songwriter.
Senseless Apprentice is the only one that I know for sure he got a writing credit on.
Yeah, well, I mean, that sounds like a Foo Fighters demo.
Yeah. So, I mean, and I used to say this as a joke, and then it turned into, like, not really a joke, and now I'm dead serious. Who the fuck knew the best musician was the drummer in Nirvana? I mean, all-around musician. You know, because I didn't know that he played guitar. I had no fucking idea Dave Grohl played guitar until I saw Foo Fighters.
Yeah, there's probably a whole generation of kids, but who have no idea Dave Grohl is a drummer. Like they know he's a singer and a guitar player.
It's like that meme that went around like 5-6 years ago. It was like someone it was screenshots, and they were edited right next to each other of this person talking about how much they love Nirvana and Foo Fighters, and I guess they were like 14. And then they posted like a couple weeks later, like unironically arguing in the comments, it's not the same person. You ever notice the lead singer from Foo Fighters kind of looks like a younger version of the drummer from Nirvana?
Wow.
And I'm just going, world of knowledge at your fingertips, can't be bothered to fucking Google somebody. But we'll argue for hours in the comments about it. I'm like, this is perfect. This describes where we're at as a society right now perfectly. The answer's right there. No, I don't want the answer. I want to win. I don't care about being right. I don't care about getting it right. I want to win.
There might be a missing member of this podcast who thinks that way.
Oh, yes. Oh,
someone who's not here today?
Hi, gentlemen and lady who listens. Dawn, we appreciate it. But, we have an MIA cast member. I'm just going to put it out there. We don't know where the fuck he's at. We are recording at an ungodly hour for us, though, this time. So
for you guys.
No.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, it's a weird time to do a podcast.
Yeah, it's true. This is probably, we've been podcasting for 7 years. This may be only the second or third morning podcast we've ever done.
And I think the other ones were the sports ones, and they were we had to get them in by a certain time because it was a very timely show, what we were talking about stuff.
They're usually all at night, or night or afternoon.
Yeah, so
what we learned today, morning radio wouldn't be for us.
No.
You guys want to do a morning show? No.
I agreed with a local DJ we had here he's legendary here in the Detroit area. Him and his partner are just in some circles. Yeah. Fuck, give me an afternoon drive show, man. I don't want to. Mornings are nice. What's
he
up?
recently brought up they were offered the morning show at Wheels, and he said no. When 106.7 flipped over to Wheels, he said they were offered the show, and he said no. He's like, no. He's like, I don't want to get up that early, and he's like, we're based here, and he probably didn't say this on the air, but like, I'm probably making more money fucking doing this than you'd be able to pay me now.
Because he ain't making what he made back in the day.
Well, those radio salaries are over. Those are gone.
Yeah.
Unless you're in like New York or LA, top 10 market. Guess what? Detroit's not a top 10 market anymore.
I don't even think they were when we were in specs. We were 11th, weren't they?
Yep. They had fallen to number. It depend on what Arbitron data you looked at the time. It was 10 or 11. But by the time I left radio, Detroit was 11. Now they're down. I want to say they're down. They're near 20. Detroit's close to not being one of the 20 biggest markets anymore. So,
you have an area where the city everything's built around. There's been a mass exodus from for 50 years, and I get it. After the riots, white flight. Yeah, white people left first, but it's been a constant emptying out. To where they're now near 500,000 people in the city of Detroit proper.
I believe the latest census figure said 600,000.
Yep, there you go. I mean, it's happening a little bit slower now, but we also have to consider that there's a lot of hipster people moving in to upscale areas that they never would have walked down 10, 15 years ago.
Well, Ted, you can talk about white flight all you want, but to be honest, white flight was at the end of the 60s. That's 50 years ago. Who's been leaving since then?
That's what I'm saying. Once again, that's what I'm saying. Whoever left first at this point, everybody's leaving.
Everybody ran to the suburbs after the riots. All right, that's when the white people left. Straight up, I can prove it. What was Bill Hicks say with a pen and an Etch-a-Sketch and a pad of paper? That's when that happened. That was 50 years ago. Every census, Detroit's population loses another 250,000. It was supposed. Yeah, you're right. Because last census, 2012, it got down to 750, or 2010, and I remember the big deal before in the 2000 census was, Detroit only has 1 million people, and then in 2010 it was like Detroit dropped below, and so I was just doing the math, all right, next one's going to be 500,000. But yeah, I guess 100,000 hipsters kind of moved in and staved off, keeping it from going to 500,000. But why should anybody live there? There's no infrastructure.
Well, I think we're finding out that our infrastructure ain't shit in a lot of places.
Well, where would you go to shop? There's a Meijer at State Fair in Gratiot, and then there's a Whole Foods Midtown.
Oh, I have no idea.
Where's everything else? It's bodegas, right? Essentially.
When I lived in Detroit, we had to cross 8 Mile to find a crossing 8 Mile means leaving Detroit, going into the suburbs to find a grocery store, like a real grocery store. And even then, it was this is an off-brand Aldi's, and Aldi's is this is an off-brand of an off-brand. How the fuck there was if it wasn't packaged fucking cheap as fuck lunch meat, there's no deli, there's no nothing, there's no fucking fresh produce. There's produce. I guess you can dig and find the fresh shit. I mean, it was like, oh, okay. I get it now. This is like being poor down south. Except for poor people down south tend to grow their own shit. And you can't even do that in half the parts of Detroit anymore.
And the other part too, you want the people to move into Detroit. You need to attract families. And with those shit ass schools you got, good fucking luck. Have the Detroit schools? We are both north of 40. Have the Detroit schools at any point in our lifetime been considered anything but shitty?
No.
And not corrupt,
Absolutely
or I should say corrupt.
Not.
Yeah,
absolutely not. And it's gotten worse and worse. And here's the thing: we've had, I mean, this isn't unique to Detroit. This happens in every major city where they have this type of shrinkage and loss of industry and everything that comes with it. But teachers have been warning us about this shit for fucking decades, like 30, 40 years ago. I remember I won't go back 40 years. I remember 30 years ago very clearly because it was like around the time I started going to high school. And Detroit teachers were like, dude, we got like 45 kids in a class. And this class and everything is set up for maybe 20 kids and a teacher. Like this is a problem and it's only getting worse. There's no cavalry coming over the hill to help us here. And we were just like, huh? Hey, we'll pass gamble or lotto, and we'll add casinos, and we'll do this, and money will go to the school. Okay, where the fuck is it?
Well, how many superintendents have been caught with their hand in the cookie jar?
See, this is what I'm saying, man.
Three in my lifetime that I can remember.
This is where I look at people and I go, at a certain point, you got to drop the ideological bullshit, and you got to be real. And Detroit's a one-party city. The Democrats ain't shit changed.
Nope.
So tell me, okay, you're not voting Republican. Got it. Because that'll be we're not supposed to vote Republican. I don't care. Fine, don't vote Republican. What's your option if it's not Democrats? Then how about this? Why don't y'all create your own option? Okay. If you live in the city, why don't you take your city back? It's ripe for it. I mean, dude,
you're an awful lot like Trump there, but I mean, I agree. Hey, Democrats have been running your shit for 50, 60 years. How's it going?
Fuck it. I mean, dude, you know how many people in 2016 before like Trump really started doing that, leaning into the crazy drunk uncle at Thanksgiving thing on Twitter?
Yeah.
We're like, oh, Bernie's done? I'll go vote for Trump. And these weren't the Bernie bros. These were a lot of fucking Bernie supporters I knew, male and female, we're not playing this game anymore. Here's the deal. Take it over. Put people who live in the city who don't have their hand in the city's fucking purse or wallet. What have you got to lose?
Yeah.
What have you got to lose?
That's it. But I was just going to say, like, Trump got a lot of shit for that, but he was right. What do you got to lose?
And believe me, there's a whole lot of people who have just checked out of the political process who live in Detroit because they go, it don't fucking matter.
Oh, there is the right answer. I've been saying about the president for a couple of years, ever since I've heard this analogy. The country is a Mack truck. Every few years, we just change the hood ornament. Sometimes you like the hood ornament, sometimes you don't. But the country's going to do what the country's going to do. It doesn't fucking matter who's in charge. If your shit is fucked up, your shit's going to continue to be fucked up.
Absolutely. I mean, here locally, we've had 3-4 storms of the century in one summer. And the west side of the suburbs are starting to show, one, their age, and two, how little money has actually been put into infrastructure because Wayne, where, by the way, Wayne has a pretty big fucking Ford plant in it, pretty much a working poor to maybe like lower middle class area. They lose power. Oh my God. Probably 2-3 times a week for 12 to 24 hours at a time. Clear day, no reason. And it's always faulty equipment, failing infrastructure is the reason given, to the point where, I mean, DTE, our local energy company, who has a monopoly, by the way, on this area, we're just like, okay, we'll give you a credit. Here's $25. And they were like, not good enough. You know how much food I've lost? You know how much this I've lost, and this ain't due the storms by your own admission? So now politicians have got involved, which means it's going to just get worse. But, I mean, dude, that's ridiculous. There's no reason for that. Wayne has enough money to fix their infrastructure, you know, the city of Wayne. It's not like a dire situation. And that's just one example of one city. And by the way, like I said, there's a major Ford plant in that area. I bet you that Ford plant don't lose power that often. I bet you the city of Wayne made sure the infrastructure for their one fucking shining jewel in their crown of making cash, the Ford plant, they make sure that motherfucker keeps running no matter what.
Actually, no, you know what I bet it is? I bet this is private industry telling the city to fuck off. I bet you that plant has its own infrastructure.
You know what? Having lived near Disney in Central Florida, yeah, you're probably right.
Probably got its own grid, its own generators.
Yeah, Disney's kind of like its own entity in the middle of Central Florida, and Disney is like down there is like Ford up here.
I mean, that's
Ford.
The difference between private industry and the government. You know, if Ford's plant shuts down, they lose money. They have competition. There are other car companies. That plant doesn't make cars. They're not making any money.
Yeah.
But yeah, if our electricity goes out, you can't call the other electric company and go, "Hey, give me some of your electricity."
Yeah, it doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
And I forgot this. When you move out to an area where there's more money, holy shit, do problems get fixed at a quicker pace?
Oh, and you have a decent tax base, and everyone actually pays them.
Oh yeah, it's amazing. Like the power goes out where I'm at now, and you know I'm thinking, oh fuck, we're in the boonies. It's gonna be like a day and a half. Like, dude, I'm getting ready to go. I'm pulling out my loincloth, getting ready to grab the conch. I'm getting ready to go all Lord of the Flies and shit. I'm looking at the animals like y'all looking mighty fucking tasty. Like it's just bad. And 2 hours later, boom, back on. I'm like, how the fuck money? And when people get paid and money's actually put in the infrastructure, and people know that, oh, this happened, and I just go grab the part and replace it. I don't have to jump through a million hoops and dodge fucking, angry customers who are yelling and screaming at me while I'm up on this cherry picker trying to replace this shit on this power line, which I've actually seen in some of the areas that I'm talking about. Boy, they put some pep in their step and they get shit done real quick. And here's the thing, like, what do? You got to have motivation, right? So it's got to be money. That's the only thing. What is different? What is different? Explain to me what is different between the area, like, because the area kind of what I'm talking about. Wayne is like kind of a lower working class area. Where I'm at is definitely more like solidly middle class to upper middle class. There's even, I would probably say, to the low end of some wealthy people out where I'm at.
I mean, for me, my first place to look would always be at the top. Like,
well, I'm just talking about like how shit, infrastructure, fixing stuff goes down. We're going to come out and get it done. I mean, I don't know where you're in St. Clair Shores. He's for non-Detroit listeners, Detroit metro area is spread out as a motherfucker. And even though we both live in the same metro area, we live, an hour and a half apart?
Well, with the freeway, yeah, I think it was like 50 minutes. Well, no, wait. No, that's where you used to live. Yeah, no, now? Oh, yeah, fuck. You're like at least an hour away.
Yeah, at least. And that's like optimal conditions.
Yeah, you're on the Oakland-Livingston border. Yeah, that's no traffic, sunny day.
Hitting every green light
yeah.
When you're not on the highway. Like, you don't even touch the brake hardly, and you get there maybe in an hour. You get here in an hour.
The snow starts flying. That could be a 2-hour drive.
Oh, shit. I spent 2 hours going less than 5 miles in Michigan sometimes, man. When it's bad, it's like, oh, fuck. Well, I deliver in this shit. All I can do is just grit my teeth and bear down, hope for the best. But yeah, dude, seriously, all jokes aside, I've always just I've gotten to this point where now I'm starting to understand. When I was younger, I was idealistic. Oh, if we get the right people in,
no,
it just so happens that the right people are all the people that I support that tell me everything I want to fucking hear. And then I'm like, oh, wait a minute, they get elected and then they don't ever keep their promises. And on top of that, they're not fucking held responsible. And their feet aren't held to the fire for not keeping their consequences. Or there's no consequences for not keeping their promises.
The same person who made the analogy of the country as a Mack truck in the hood ornament Also said that when he talks to young people, he finally had a realization like, oh, that's right. You still think the government can fix your problems.
Yeah. And when the older you get and more you're failed by the government and more you see how the government puts people in no-win situations, basically just to justify their own existence in the bureaucracy, you're like, how is more of this help?
Yeah, well, it's that, and then too, like it's. I think we've got the title for the show because we've already said it 3 times today. The more older you get, the more you realize the cavalry ain't coming.
Yeah,
like you mean, oh shit, I better figure this out on my own because no one's gonna be here to fucking help me.
No, that's the absolute truth. And I mean, I hate to be this guy, but like, especially with friends who have younger brothers or younger sisters who, you know, I watched them grow up. I kind of feel like they're like kind of my, you know, younger sibling too. And they get these pie in the sky bullshit ideas about how the world works. You're just like, oh man.
Like even yesterday in the
Could
chat,
you not?
some of the stuff Earl was saying. I was like, man, the Mets must be kicking in. We thought everyone deserves a chance. And this and like, I just had to be like, are you going to sit here with a college degree and talk to me about opportunities?
Here's the deal. I kind of feel like it's unfair because this is shooting fish in a barrel with him here, and he's not here.
Yeah.
You know, so this is just dropping a nuclear bomb on the lake he's in.
But it's relevant to the conversation. Sometimes he comes out of left field and he comes with that pie in the sky type shit. I'm like, dude, what the? You know that's not how it works.
Did
they up your dose? Like,
once again, some people get caught up in that. Some people get caught up in that. This is how the world should be, and this is how I want the world to be. So I'm going to view the world that way. Once again, deal with reality on reality's terms. And the reality of a lot of situations are, I'm sorry, fuck it. Full disclosure, we're talking about him. Mr. fucking MIA just jumped off his milk carton, hit me in the middle of talking, trying to make this fucking point that I've now forgot. I are waking up. We'll be there. Oh, well, that's mighty Caucasian of you to fucking wake up and then tell us an hour and 10 minutes into the fucking show or whatever. Thank you. Anyways, so wait with bated breath for Earl to show up. By the way, probably an uncaffeinated Earl first thing in the morning. Compelling listening we're going to fucking do today, folks. So, and
you're really selling it.
I'm so frustrated now. If I was listening, I just want to hear how much of a dumpster fire this is going to be. I would just be like skipping till I just hear his dumbass fucking voice. And I'd be like, there we go. Podcast has started. Because, dude, anyways, God, I love it. Oh, all right. Well, fuck it. Let's get into a subject that I just want to get into before he jumps on, hopefully real quick, because sorry, he's not a musician and I really don't care what he's got to say about it. Wolfgang Van Halen, Eddie Van Halen's kid, apparently is being taken to task online, of course, because he's online, for not playing his father's stuff. And he pretty much came out and was like, I'm not a fucking jukebox for you fuckers. And I was like, good for him, man.
Yeah.
His direct quote is, I'm not fucking playing Panama for you guys.
Yeah. Yeah, because somebody said, it's time for you to honor your father. He pretty much said, fuck you. I'm not playing this shit.
Yeah, I mean, he lays it out like this. Plays in band with his dad. That spoiled brat is just riding his daddy's coattails. Plays in his own band without covering Van Halen. Yo, why isn't he riding his daddy's coattails?
Yeah, he's fucked either way.
Yeah, you're in the Kobayashi Maru. You're in the no-win scenario. This is just proof that in today's world, people, if you are in the public eye in any way, they'll put you in the no-win situation. Whereas, like, motherfuckers like us, we just get stuck in the no-win situation by life.
Yeah, that's one thing I've learned. Like, just the last 2 years, everyone's going to be mad about everything. You could put a picture online of a baby hugging a puppy. Someone's going to be pissed. Someone's going to bitch about the stage mother of that baby. Someone's going to ask, "Oh, did that puppy come from a puppy mill? Were child labor laws followed during this photo?" Like I said, everyone will complain about everything now. Like, that's just where we are.
Yeah. I mean, good for him, where he's like, you know what, fuck you. If I'm gonna be looked at some kind of way, no matter what I do, I'm gonna do what the fuck I want to do. Well, you know what, dude? Here's the difference between young me and here's the difference between old me. More power to you, man.
Yeah.
You got the juice because of who your old man was to do it. Okay.
He didn't ask to be born Eddie Van Halen. He's just born Eddie Van Halen. That is winning the lottery.
And I mean, and he seems to have taken full advantage of the situation. He learned at the fucking heel of one of the best guitar players in modern history.
Yeah.
Definitely one of the most innovative, like, ever. I mean, I put him up there with Hendrix, Wes Montgomery.
Oh, yeah? People who changed the instrument?
Reinhardt.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Les Paul, guys like that. That's rare air. Guys, that's like, there's a handful in 200, 300 years of, or 100 and whatever years of recorded music. And he understood. He either understood or he had the right personality to just absorb it all. And he's got the right personality to now understand and be self-aware enough of how lucky he is. And I have everything I've heard by him I don't care for. But, I mean, hey, more power to you, man. But younger me, man, fuck that. If you weren't Eddie Van Halen's kid, no one would give a shit. Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Because when you're young, you're a hater. Because you're young and you don't have shit. And you're mad at the world because everyone else has something.
Well, it's, and this is kind of a subject that I think is kind of timely, even though, the three of us, like, my daughter is well into adulthood. You have no kids. Earl has no kids. But it takes, I'm paraphrasing the Kevin Smith quote. It takes nothing. It costs nothing to encourage a young artist. And what's the worst that comes out of it? Some art that you don't like, okay, don't listen to it. Don't buy it. Don't watch it. But what happens if they become a good artist in whatever medium they're working in, whatever field they're working in? Okay. Too many parents I know I've seen with kids who are just fucking musical prodigies. And it seems like it's either feast or famine. Either the parents don't give a fuck or the parents recognize it at a young age and it turns into the most cringeworthy horse shit you've ever seen in your fucking life. And now you can watch it. Like, I've seen it with young guitar players and musicians over the last decade online. Like, when they start, they're 10, the parents are running everything. The parents are calling all the shots. And it's like the most, oh my God, this is aimed at somebody's grandparents bullshit you've ever seen in your life. And all of a sudden the kid gets to a certain age and like their entire existence is they're known as the kid who's a wonder kid online, right? Some musician who's like I said, a prodigy, but now they're bucking because they're a teenager, because that's what all teenagers do with their parents. It has to happen. It's part of, you have to let it happen. It's part of letting a child move to an adult is to let them learn independence. That's the problem. We don't have enough independence in kids these days, but one of the problems. But
if your child is living at home till it's time to get the prostate checked, maybe they're living at home too long. Just putting that out there.
A little bit, but I mean, it's just like you want to encourage, but there's much more, and there's like I said, basically the stage parents. It's cringy as fuck, but I've known a lot more parents who just fucking ignore their kids, and it's like, do you understand? If you'd have just encouraged them a little bit, just a little bit, how much that would have fucking maybe helped them, instead of going, that's stupid. You realize your 5-year-old's picking up a guitar and sounding out chords and picking out melodies.
There's adults who can't do that. Yeah.
Yes, who've been playing for 30 fucking years. I've been in bands with some of them. So, fuck you. No, it is fucking amazing. That's raw talent. That is raw fucking talent. That's raw ability. That's going to be wasted because why? What does it hurt? This is when they should fucking be able to be encouraged because they're young. If a 5-year-old doesn't live up to their expectations on a day-to-day basis, what's the worst that happens? A messy room, chicken nuggies on the ground. Okay, you really want your kid at 25 deciding to become a professional musician and discovering themselves then? Or would you rather it happen at 5? That gives you a good, 13 years run up to you're 18?
Yeah.
Okay? You're going to know in 13 years that this kid is fucking going to make a serious run at a career in music. Because, by the way, if they're that good of a musician and you're that intelligent of a parent, you will understand you need to have a career in music, not be a star. If you become a star via your career in music, congratulations. But seriously, 13 years, you'll know. You'll know. Just like parents, I don't know if my kid wants to play guitar. No, your kid doesn't want to play guitar. Your kid likes saying that they wish they played guitar. That's what your kid wants to do. A kid who wants to play an instrument, you know immediately. They pick it up, they find it, they seek it out. You don't have to force it on them. You don't have to go, come on, little Jimmy, wake up. I got to take you to your lesson. They're fucking going, Ma?
Yeah, let's go.
Ma, come on, I got to get to my lesson. So...
No, my dad said he knew it was going to mean the guitar were going to go the distance when he came in one night and I was asleep with the fucking amp plugged in and it was on my stomach. He's like, all right, he's like, this kid wants to do this.
For my mom, she goes, oh God, it was never, like, it was always a hassle to my mom. But she's like, when I realized it wasn't going anywhere she goes, I get up to use the bathroom and I knock on the door and you're in there and she's like, hurry up and get out. I got to use the bathroom. Hurry up. I hear the toilet flush. I hear you wash your hands and then you come out and you got your guitar strapped around you. It was
damn.
like, look, well, here's the deal.
You're like, hey, I'm sitting down. I could practice some chords.
Yes. And it was the best acoustic sounding room in the place.
And there's no arms on a toilet, so you got room for the neck.
Well, I mean, and sometimes, to be honest, my mom was a bit of a, perpetual teenager. And it's like, I get it now because I think back to how old she was when I was doing this. But, like, she'd have the music up and I couldn't even, and I had a pig nose amp. For anyone who doesn't know, a pig nose amp ain't really that loud. And we lived in an apartment. And my mom's blaring her bullshit music. And I'm just like, the only place I can play and be in here in the bathroom. But yeah, she was like, oh God, Jesus, this kid, this is gonna be for life. This is like herpes and luggage. This is for life. His guitar is going nowhere. Oh, and hey, did your parents encourage you, like, at all?
Oh yeah.
And you actually at one point what do you call it? Idea. But unfortunately, like, you were like, well, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to go to school for music. But unfortunately, what the fuck are you going to do with a music degree?
Yeah, I kind of realized that a year into college. Like, oh, no.
Yeah.
Well, especially, too, like, like the jazz band I was in, like, a couple of the dudes who had been, they had gray hair and, they were considered professional musicians, and kind of just gave a speech to the class of, and just hearing about the life this guy lived. It's like, no, I don't want that. I don't want that at all. This guy sounds he's basically living paycheck to paycheck and he's fucking 60. Fuck that shit.
And yeah, I mean, my situation was a little different, but I think looking back now and being able to look back with the clarity and wisdom of age of myself, my family just didn't know any better because everybody lived paycheck to paycheck. And so my attitude was, if I might have to live paycheck to paycheck for something, it might as well be for something I fucking enjoy. The problem is we came up right at the worst time for live musicians to try to make a living. Because even if you did cover band 7 nights a week, there ain't no place to play in a cover band 7 nights a week.
Well, the other part too was, I saw the paycheck angle. Okay, music teacher. Well, I figured out real quick, I fucking hate kids. Okay, nope, not gonna be a music teacher. And also too, teachers get paid shit. Unless you get in at a good private school.
Yeah.
Wanting to be a teacher, I was limiting my income potential to a cool $45K a year.
Thank you for visiting ChristopherMedia.net.
The average organization uses 110 SaaS apps. How do you manage your rapidly growing SaaS environment? Thousands of IT customers use Better Cloud to automate processes and policies across their cloud app portfolio. With 88 5-star reviews on G2, Better Cloud is the most reviewed and beloved SaaS management platform used by IT departments to centralize the administration of their most common apps. Visit bettercloud.com to learn more.
What's up, New Jersey? Do you want to go to college for free? If there's anything the pandemic has taught Americans and the people of New Jersey, it's that we have to be adaptable and stop putting off our plans for the future. So whether you've recently graduated high school, stuck in a job you don't love, or simply wanting to learn new skills and make more money, the Community College Opportunity Grant can help you secure a life-changing opportunity. Accelerate your path to wealth and opportunities today by visiting njccog.org to learn more about a debt-free degree with CCOG. What's up, New Jersey? Do you want to go to college for free? If there's anything the pandemic has taught Americans and the people of New Jersey, it's that we have to be adaptable and stop putting off our plans for the future. So whether you've recently graduated high school, stuck in a job you don't love, or simply wanting to learn new skills and make more money, the Community College Opportunity Grant can help you secure a life-changing opportunity. Accelerate your path to wealth and opportunities today by visiting njccog.org to learn more about a debt-free degree with CCOG.
Hey, do you love a good story? Great. Then you got to check out the #Storytime podcast. Each episode brings you the craziest, creepiest, and cringiest stories from YouTube, TikTok, Reddit, and beyond.
I'm gonna die. Chad could already be dead, or either he was smart and didn't come down anyways.
So at a quick glance, when I was turning off the light, I saw this thing in my kitchen, and it was kind of peeping out over to me.
Question is, name something that everyone knows the size of on their body.
Look, the internet is a dumpster full of stories, and I, your host, Will McFadden, dive in headfirst, sift through the flaming trash, and bring you nothing but treasures.
I was like, oh, right. That would be a really bad way to tell somebody that their brother died.
I swear this happened in slow motion. The champagne flute fell into the lap of Halle Berry, completely drenching her.
Listen to all 21 episodes of #Storytime now on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Hear that? That's the sound of a cool, delicious McCafe iced coffee. Loaded with robust flavor and aroma. And this, that's the sound of McDonald's new Southern-style sweet tea. Sweetened to perfection. Now you can get either drink, any size, for only $1.49 each. Now that's refreshing. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. McDonald's, I'm loving it. Price and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal.
What's up, New Jersey? Do you want to go to college but feel like you can't afford it? The Community College Opportunity Grant will send you to college for free. That's right, a free degree for anyone who's eligible. Whether you've recently graduated high school, you're stuck in a job you don't love, or just wanting to learn new skills and earn more, CCOG has your back. Don't spend another day wishing for a new life. It's time to invest in you for free. Visit njccog.org today to learn more about a debt-free degree with CCOG.
Thank you for visiting ChristopherMedia.net.
You know what's really funny? I was thinking about telling you guys both that we all grew up at the wrong time.
Oh, look who wanted to get involved in the discussion, Mr. Helper.
Yeah, I'll tell you why later. Anyways.
We're moving it. We're done. Now we start the real subjects. I don't want to hear about your plans for us to be fucking music teachers or whatever the fuck. We're moving on. Next subject. You don't get to come in and dictate, bruh. Sorry.
Bruh,
Hour
I
and a
just
half
want to
late.
say one thing.
Make it quick.
Hey, y'all came up in as musicians. I came up as a teacher, as a bona fide teacher. History, high school, how you doing? It was the time when everything was shifted. Everything. From your guys' music careers to my teaching career. You guys were going, the music thing was going to that track that you guys talked about on the other show. And history is now non-existent to these people. So everything that we wanted to do is now obsolete.
Okay. Are you done?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fucked up.
Okay, good.
That's a dumb analogy.
So,
I'm not trying to be an asshole, but you're talking about something that like one section of one demographic of people believe. Like history still exists, dude. They still teach it in school.
No, they don't. There's a state that stopped teaching history. It's called Illinois. It's fucked up. Not kidding.
You know we can fact check this, right?
No, no. It was a whole thing. It was a culture warrior fucking red herring that some people swallowed the hook fucking willingly and graciously. It's going to be nothing that stands up. But here's the thing: doesn't look, dude. And What's your point? These people don't care, bro. We know this, all right? I mean, but at the same time, you think there's not going to be anything taught to kids? It's just going to be a revision of history.
All I'm saying is fucked up that you, Chris, and myself all spent our whole childhood and many years of our adult life trying to get somewhere, and it was all for naught. Not because we didn't do it, not because we didn't put in the work, but because of the culture shift.
Okay. Can we actually talk about a story now?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So we all know about the anti-vaxxers. You'll never stick me with the jab, all that. Okay, great, wonderful. What do you do? I guess until they start going around at gunpoint, you can't really force people to take something. And we're not even discussing that because we're not at that point yet. But I do think it's funny that there's only that side of these extremists that are reported in most media up until recently, because now it's become an issue for the vax everyone at gunpoint crowd. These people are so fucking zealous about getting the fucking jab. They're lying and saying their kids are older than fucking 12 so their kids can get vaccinated. To the point where doctors are coming out going, please don't lie to us and tell us your kids are older than they are just so they can get vaccinated. There's a reason we have an age fucking requirement for this. Please listen to us. We might know what we're talking about.
You're asking people to listen to doctors, and that's just not a thing anymore.
And and these are the same people that will fucking browbeat the anti-vaxxers for not listening to the science, not following the science, not fucking dealing with the facts, lying to get their way, using lies.
Well, to borrow a phrase from you, now their precious little fuck trophies are involved.
They're zealots, man. They'd have found a reason to be like this anyways. They need that windmill to tilt at, dude.
And please tell me about the child holocaust that's going on with COVID right now. Now, are kids getting it? Yes. Are there kids in the hospital? Yes. Are kids dying from this? No. All we're hearing about is infections. We're not hearing about deaths.
Well, I mean, look, one of the things that they've come out and said that pretty much I haven't really heard anyone disagree with is, okay, kids can be carriers, but it doesn't hit them. Like, younger kids can be carriers, but it doesn't hit them like it hits adults. End of story. Like, yes, some kids will get put on their ass. It has actually killed some children, but they're not fucking dropping like fucking flies. It's not an epidemic. It's not, oh my God, how are we going to repopulate the earth because the children are dying off, children of men situation here.
What was the phrase?
You know what I'm saying?
The hot phrase a couple weeks ago? A pandemic of the unvaccinated.
Well, that's fear porn. And if you watch fear porn, I can't help you. You can only lead a horse to water. I've given up on. I have no hope in people changing anymore. Like you get to our age and you fucking still are a dumbass. That's pretty much your lot in life. It takes an active effort to change that, and people just don't want to put the work in, man. It's easier to fucking point at somebody else and say they have to change, they have to do all the work. And what do we tell people these days? Do the work, put the work in, do better. It's like, why don't you do better, motherfucker? Why is everybody else got to change to make you comfortable? And this is
my question always is, what's the work? No one ever says what the work is. You just say the work. Please be specific.
Just say no, Chris. Just say no. Just say no, Chris. Why are you questioning it? It works. It's so beautiful. It fits on a bump sticker. Shut up. Your government has it all under control. Okay. And who was stoking those fires? Evangelical Christians back then. Those are the people fucking stoking the fires of the drug war. The war, are these gays settling down? Can't have that. Can't have that.
Real quick question on this, Rich. You're vaccinated, right, against COVID?
No, today I go.
You go today to get it?
Mm-hmm.
Chris, you're vaccinated.
Yeah.
I'm not. I'm thinking about it. Here's my question. Did you guys get vaccinated against any of the other pandemic-ish viruses?
No, because there haven't been any.
No, there have. Avian flu, the swine flu.
Those weren't pandemics.
They were trying to be.
Do you know what a pandemic is?
They were trying to be.
Did you look up the word pandemic?
Dude. Okay, hold on. Stop. Trying to be and were they? Two separate answers. I don't care about trying to be. Okay? I can try to fuck Jennifer Connelly. Doesn't mean I'm even going to get to sniff her dirty panties. Come on.
To your question,
Stay
Earl,
with us.
something that never left the other side of the planet. No, I never went and got a vaccination for it.
Okay.
If that look, you don't want to get vaccinated.
What do you say okay like that for? This is worldwide, Earl. This is in every single fucking country. Don't say okay like that.
Hold on. Because I don't think I've said this. You don't want to get vaccinated, don't get vaccinated. You had COVID, according to you, twice. And it wasn't, like the first time really wasn't shit. Second time was like, let me tell you something. I had COVID once. Okay. I was gasping for fucking air. I sat down and was like, this is it. You're dead. You can't breathe.
No,
and
I felt like that
that.
second time. I felt like that second time.
Okay. And if the test was wrong and that wasn't COVID, then I damn sure don't want COVID. And if that was COVID and the fucking Delta variant's worse, I damn sure don't want the Delta variant. Now, I'm not a fucking shining beacon on a hill of health. I understand that. This is a decision I'm making for me. Why? Because before I was rudely interrupted to be asked a dumbass question that has nothing to do with what we're talking about, kids can carry it and spread it. I'm around fucking kids all day. I can't afford to get fucking sick. That's what I was trying to fucking say. Like, you want to get vaccinated? If you're perfectly fucking healthy and you want to roll that dice, roll it. Because this is what I've been told. The vaccination doesn't mean you're not going to get it. It just means you're going to be asymptomatic to kind of sick. Well, that's not what a vaccination does. Okay, what's my options? Kind of sick to dead. That's hard. Let me think about that. It's not hard for me. It's just not. And it's for me. I don't care what anyone else has to say about it. Motherfucker, you don't crawl in my skin and live here. I do. You don't want to take it, don't take it. Like, I don't have concerns about side effects because I know I can't, unless that test was wrong, I had COVID, period, end of story. And it almost it almost killed me. Why would I roll the dice and risk that again? But once again, that's just me. I'm not here to tell you what to do with your body.
And I will say the one thing that seems to, if you notice, they kind of keep it quiet. But it seems if you are overweight, that kind of is a problem with COVID.
No,
but they won't say it
ones.
because we have to be living this fucking
who's they
positive body image. Like, you're not hearing it. You're not hearing it.
I hear it all the time, but maybe it's because of the sources on news I watch. If you're overweight, you have diabetes, you have a heart condition, you have any type of lung condition,
COPD, yeah,
I've heard all this stuff. You never hear overweight.
I just started with it. That's the first thing they say. The trifecta. Maybe it's because, once again, I don't listen to news that caters to my boutique fucking requirements to watch the news. I watch news that I go, oh shit, oh fuck, look at those stats. Everybody who's, well, not everybody, but most people who are dying have a mix of these 4 or 5 comorbidities. And I checked the box firmly in 2 of them.
Well,
all right.
I'm telling you, I know it's got to be.
Put this in perspective for you guys. The only reason I was worried, it's like these guys with the kids. All right, I got a wife with an autoimmune disease. All right. Now, I'm not trying to play fucking politics with the left and the right and is the shot work, does it not work? It scares the shit out of me. All right. She's vaccinated against COVID. Now they came out with the Delta variant. Does the vaccination care about the Delta variant? No, it does not.
Yes, it does.
It'll stop you. It should stop you from being on a ventilator, which helps. So it scares the shit out of me.
Actually,
that's it.
The Pfizer vaccine is effective against variants. Like, yeah, they are effective against the variants. They're less effective, but they're effective.
Right, but the only thing that those vaccines will do will keep you from going on a ventilator. It won't stop you from getting sick.
No. That's another thing that we're not hearing. We keep getting a lot of these quote unquote breakthrough infections. People have only had one fucking shot. That's what they keep fucking leaving out. A lot of them have been the Johnson & Johnson one where you only get one shot. A lot of them have been like they only got the one poke with Moderna and Pfizer and didn't go back for their second. And we're being told there's breakthrough infections. Like, there has been just, I shared a story about it the other day. There has been, the reporting on this is flawed. It almost seems like they're being told what to report so they can keep the fear porn going. Like, I swear to God, you read and watch the news right now, minus Afghanistan, it's like it's April last year again. Like all of a sudden at work, there's an uptick with curbside delivery and curbside and contactless delivery this last week. Like, really? We're doing this again? I'm seeing more and more customers wearing masks. I'm like, are you fucking shitting me?
No, dude. I tell you one thing, ain't ever gonna fucking happen again. Not unless we like this takes a turn for the absolute worst, and at that point, I don't think our watch the motherfuckers, watch our leaders scatter like roaches when the lights come on. Even if we go back into lockdown, all that help you got from the government, that was in an election year. That's done.
Well, too. Also, at this point, I would be scared as shit to go back into a lockdown because the Democrat's president now. We learned last year which party was going to clamp down on you. All right, and now the party that will clamp down on you is in the White House. That would scare the shit out of me going back into lockdown with them in charge.
Yeah, and see that's where I'm at. The politics on this virus is I'm so fucking done with. I can't even tell you how much I'm done with it. Left, right, or center, I don't give a flying fuck. I've had a wife die from a disease. I got a wife with a different disease, and if she contracts this disease, she might die from it. So I'm sitting here like, come on, stop. Just tell me, how do I stop people from fucking dying? Just do that, and we'll go from there.
Interesting when it affects somebody close to you, how your tune has changed. I could go back to our conversation in April, and you giving me a whole bunch of shit about getting the vaccine. You're not going to be a guinea pig and this and that. Funny when it hits close to home, how your tune changes, huh?
Yes, very much so.
Well, I mean, my decision was easy. I was like, pretty much, what's the safest vax for my situation health-wise? I wanted to minimize my risk, and then I got sick with COVID. And then basically it was like, well, you need to talk to your doctor. And my doctor was like, I don't know. Everyone I know who's gotten vaccinated, it's been more than 3 months since they had it or they never had it. He's like, and I'm like, you're the professional. You tell me. He's like, well, as far as I know, we know you do have antibodies for 90 days or whatever. So it was strongly recommended. Oh, it's right around the 90-day mark. I was never hesitant about it. I was just like, because, dude, I never thought this was bullshit. When it first started being reported, I thought it was like SARS or the swine flu. You know what I'm saying? I thought it was being blown out of proportion. But then when they started shutting shit down, I was like, okay, wait a minute. I ain't ever seen this. Ever. You know what I'm saying? Like, ever. For all of the fucking the oh my God, this is going to be the virus that takes us out shit that you've heard. And especially the last 20 years when the internet could fan the flames and feed the fire. That shit never happened before. And when they started shutting down professional sporting leagues, started shutting down Vegas. Vegas was really the big.
Yeah, we were doing. We were doing a pod. I'm not sure if we were doing this or unregimented. Sporgy, yeah. We were like, oh, they just closed Vegas. Oh shit.
While we're recording, like the strip went dark. And it was like,
what's funny? The common thread everything has is we knew when the capitalist ball stopped rolling. The capitalism ball stopped rolling. We were like, oh fuck, because you never stop that thing from rolling.
Oh yeah,
and we
definitely.
We found it. We found the parking brake on it. It was hidden. It was under something. We had to dust it off. We had to pull a secret panel, but we found the capitalism parking brake.
And Chris, that's the whole thing with me. I was the mindset of Rich forever. Like I thought they were blowing this up. Like any other.
Why is that attributed to me? But go ahead.
We all were the same way.
They were blowing.
Oh, you thought right at the beginning, when they were
just said you thought they were blowing it out of proportion. I stayed that way.
Hold on, listen to me. Okay, yeah, that's where you. That's you. That's your fault.
I stayed that way for almost a year.
How you had it twice?
Because I had it twice, and I am overweight. I do have beginning stages of COPD. I did survive. I thought, okay, it's bad. It's the flu. Woohoo! But when they started shutting everything down, I'm like, okay, and it's just a culmination of everything for me. For me, not you guys, me, with my wife, with the way she is, the way they shut everything down, the support they gave everybody, the misinformation. Masks are not going to work. Masks are great. Wear a double mask. There was so much misinformation about this shit that I don't even know, man. Is it COVID? Is it Corona? Is it two different things? I don't know.
Dude, it's not that hard to figure out. The part is that we are as a society are so conditioned to be comfortable with lies that we can't handle the truth anymore. And the truth is, these are all our best guess. You're watching science play out in front of you, man. You're watching the scientific method work in front of you in real time. And the vast majority of society is only used to seeing the end fucking result. And by the way, science is constantly trying to prove itself wrong, and it changes. And we know how well society reacts to changes. I mean, not at all. Now you're seeing it at a speed that people who work in STEM, people who work a job that applies scientific method, understand this is the process. This is how you eliminate everything that doesn't work, and what you're left with is your best guess at what's going to work. Only time can prove. Will the vaccine be safe for people 10, 15 years, 20 years down the line? I don't know. No one's had it for 10, 15, 20 years down the fucking line. It's our best guess. They will. But we can tell you this. If you're high risk and you get COVID, you could die.
By the way, Earl, coronavirus is the type of virus it is, and COVID-19 is the name of the strain.
Yeah, bro, but when it first started, I was like, what the fuck is going on? They were here, I don't know about up there, but here they just were misreporting everything. And they were calling it corona, sometimes something COVID.
I default to everything Rich just said. We're learning it as we go.
Right, but when they're trying to report on it and they don't know what the fuck is going on, and the media is sitting there just trying to do what media does and get the best bits. I'm trying to figure out, okay, do I need 2 shots? Do I need one for corona, one for COVID? Do I need 1 shot? Why do I need 2 shots for the same thing? What the fuck is going on?
Then that's a you problem, dude.
Yeah.
I've never been confused about any of this. But maybe because you only got to school me once. I don't know, but.
I mean, anything else we've had shots for, if you're not anti-vaxxer,
because we've had years and years and years and years and years of data. All right, this is something that just showed up at the end of 2019. This isn't something like polio or whooping cough or something that had been around for years and they had years of fucking data on. Like we're still building the plane as we are flying it here, Earl. Like the Pfizer vaccine just this week got full FDA approval because it was still in temporary approval. Like
and of course everybody who's anti-vax comes out and goes, oh well, so was heartburn medication and it turned out to cause cancer. Yeah.
You know what I want to ask all those people? I want to know how many of these people vape, because the science is still out on vaping, yet you're still fucking doing it.
Dude, vaping's been around for over 20 years. Okay. People, believe me, there had to have been a scientist who was like, let me look into this and start fucking keeping logs of something. Had to be, dude, because they're just that's why they're scientists by nature. I don't buy it. And by the way, notice that, and this ain't a conspiracy theory, folks. This is your government at work. This is what they do. Big Tobacco has the lobby, the money for the lobbyists to send them in there. They've pretty much killed the mom and pop vaping places that make juice nationally. You can get it inside the state, but you can't even send it through the mail anymore. Oh, but all these pods and pre-disposable ones and shit like that R.J. Reynolds and all them sell. Oh, you can order those over the internet, have them shipped over state lines. They have,
you're just mad because you used the first vape ever made.
Well, no, I was
right.
a
You
late
upgraded.
adopter.
That's right.
No, I was a late adopter. I started hearing about people vaping, like for real vaping, late 2000s or late 2009, early 2010. It's like the first time I saw someone hit a vape mod, and I was like, "What the fuck is that thing?" It looked like they put a pencil in their mouth and then they exhaled.
Future cigarettes, bro.
Smoke. And they're like, it's an e-cigarette. Well, it's an electronic cigarette. And I'm like, electronic cigarette? Let me hit that thing. Yeah, I'm good on that, man. I'm good. Yeah, it's because it's a completely different animal. You can't hit it like you're fucking hitting a goddamn steamroller.
My favorite part of it is you're not married to it for 5 minutes. That is my favorite part of vaping. It's concentrated. You take 2 or 3 hits, fucking move on with your life. Yep. Like a cigarette, It all depends on how quick you smoke, how slow you smoke. If you smoke it too quick, your fucking throat hurts. You end up fucking, the cigarette ends up hotboxing. Plus, too, I like how all my stuff doesn't smell like smoke. I enjoy that.
Oh yeah, I had to get a buddy at the airport, and he was like, "Hey, use my car." I was like, "All right." So I go to pick up him and his kids, and he's like, "Don't be smoking in my car, man." I'm like, "All right." So I brought my vape because I try to cut down on smoking, but driving, if I don't have nicotine, I'm gonna have a 50 cal. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna have a Mark 19 mounted, a chain-fed. A belt-fed grenade launcher on my car if I don't have nicotine while I'm driving, because I hate you motherfuckers. I hate everybody while I'm driving. But yeah, they get in there like, "Oh man, something smells good in here." I'm like, "Really?" My buddy's like, "Yeah, dude, I'm kind of hungry. What is that? You eat a Danish or something?" I'm like, "It's my vape, man." He's like, "Well, you could do that. I thought they stunk. I thought they smelled like cigarettes." I'm like, "It's 2021. How the fuck do you not?" Like, what? So,
I'm vaping right now, and it smells like cotton candy up in this motherfucker.
You know what's funny too? I'm not that far removed from getting rental cars and hotel rooms like every other week. They somewhere a couple of years ago, all of a sudden, no vaping showed up next to no smoking. And my question with each of them is, how would you know? How would you know? If I check out at 8:30 and the maid doesn't hit the room, housekeeper doesn't hit the room until 12:30, how the fuck are you going to know I was vaping up the room? If I drop off the rental car at 7 in the morning and you don't park it till 8, how the fuck are you going to know I was vaping up the rental car?
Yeah, you're not. Here's a question for you, though. Everybody's saying don't vape weed. What's up with that?
No one's saying don't vape weed, dude.
Way to catch up with 2 fucking years ago. That was a scare that I personally think was coronavirus, and we didn't know it. But no, there was a chemical that was in some tainted vape cartridges that was fucking with people. That come on, that's 2019. That's literally almost 2 years ago. That started in like September, October 2019.
Absolutely.
And it resolved itself by like January.
One more time, we live in 2 different worlds, because here in Kansas, they're using some of that to stop not allowing it to be legal here in Kansas. You can't even vape it, they said.
Well, do you know where you live? With your right-wing ass government, they're going to come up with every crazy fucking thing they can find to keep, and it's not going to, because you border Colorado. I got bad news for you, Kansas. It's already there.
Yeah, pretty much.
And Oklahoma's got medical now. So, I mean, yeah, Nebraska's going to have a medical program soon. Just fucking. But yeah, Republican governors, it's still, with some of those guys, it's still like it's 1955 and reefer madness is a thing. They're going to use everything that they can to scare the shit out of housewives so that when, it's time for the evil weed to come to their state, they say no.
Well, we've talked about it before. It's the fun police. It's people who are never going to go to these places, people who aren't going to be in. No, you got to get smoking out of bars. Okay, and here's the problem. It started with get smoking out of restaurants. And even as a smoker, I was like, I kind of understand that one. Because like a non-smoking section and a smoking section in an enclosed restaurant is pretty much bullshit. Yeah. I mean, come on, dude. And I'm old enough to where I've flown when people were smoking on a plane. The smoking section of the plane was the back of the plane. You're in a fucking tube, okay? Let's be honest here. So, okay, I get that. But then it started getting nuts. No. Now you can't do it in bars. Now there's companies I know that if you are sitting in your car, pull into their parking lot, windows up, and they see you putting out a cigarette, but your tires are touching their property, you're fired. On the spot. Done. Thank you, at-will employment. I'm like, that's ridiculous. That is absolutely ridiculous.
That's some 1984 shit right there.
Hey, welcome to Utah. If you're smoking in Utah with your windows down, you can get a fine.
But aren't there some states where if you smoke with the windows up and you have kids in the car, it's considered child abuse?
That's it. That's the other thing, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Welcome to the no-win situations you get put in.
I can't help but think of Doug Stanhope again. Oh, are we having fun on the weekends?
Well, so all this happens. Okay, smoking's bad. Well, then because believe it or not, the first time I heard of vaping ever was dry vaping weed. And yes. I read an article in High Times in the early 2000s about it.
Yes, same here. When I was running a store in Rochester Hills, a couple of the crew kids were like, "Hey, man, you ever vaporize weed?" I'm like, "What? Like atomic bomb vaporize? Like, what the fuck are you talking about?" No, and it was this big elaborate rig, and it was this big wood box, and it had a fucking tube attached to it, and it had to warm up for 20 minutes.
It was a big involved process.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
like you had to bring it over in a backpack.
About a hookah? What are you doing over there?
No, this was like the first weed vapor. Like you had to bring it over in a backpack. That's how big it was.
Well, because they hadn't figured out how to get the concentrate or the concentrate and all that shit into oil form yet. So it was just flour, boom, and they heated it up, and it sucked it in, and then you hit it, but it didn't actually ever combust.
Yeah,
it was just it. Anyways, long story short, that's really the first time I started hearing about it. Then, like I said, like late 2009, I saw someone actually hit it was a vape pen, not a mod. It was just one of those, regulated pens with you turn the bottom and it sets your shit. But then all of a sudden, oh no, vaping, that's horrible. Oh, that's even worse than smoking cigarettes. Really? What proof do you have? Well, it has to be. Oh, it has to be. Why? Because you don't like cigarettes? And now you can't vape anywhere indoors.
This is starting to sound like an Earl comment.
Why? Why can't you? Why can't you vape indoors? I'm sorry. Okay, you don't want fucking cloud chasers, fucking, whatever. Got you. But your average vape pen doesn't produce that much fucking vapor. Oh, that's just all there is to it.
Airport bathrooms across the country, I have hit my vaporizer in.
Absolutely.
Hold it in, blow it into your shirt. Nobody fucking knows.
Yep. There are actual little vape pens out there for what they call stealth vaping. In other words, you get the nicotine. You might not get that great of flavor, by the way, but you get the nicotine and you hardly exhale anything, and there's no smell. So what's the complaint now? Hold on. What's the complaint now? And we went through this. We don't like it. Well, that doesn't give you a right to fucking take other people's right to do something away because you don't like it.
I'm not sure if it was Wiesman or unregimented, but Aaron said it's really like, could you please stop being so gross? That's really what it is. You have a habit that we think is gross and we don't like it.
Well, to bounce off of Rich of what's wrong with it, you guys, have you vaped weed?
Yes. Who the fuck you talking to?
Okay,
I vape flour, oil, wax.
Okay,
I'm vaping it right now.
Okay, good. Answer my two questions. One, do you still get stoned off of it?
I wouldn't continue doing something if I didn't get any enjoyment out of it.
Okay, number two, does it smell like weed or is it like nicotine where you can't smell the smoke of the nicotine, but you smell whatever flavor it is?
It tastes like weed. It don't smell like weed.
That's fucked up. Okay.
No, it's awesome is what it is.
Yeah, that's kind of...
Thank you for visiting ChristopherMedia.net.
The average organization uses 110 SaaS apps. How do you manage your rapidly growing SaaS environment? Thousands of IT customers use Better Cloud to automate processes and policies across their cloud app portfolio. With 88 5-star reviews on G2, Better Cloud is the most reviewed and beloved SaaS management platform used by IT departments to centralize the administration of their most common apps. Visit bettercloud.com to learn more.
What's up, New Jersey? Do you want to go to college but feel like you can't afford it? The Community College Opportunity Grant will send you to college for free. That's right, a free degree for anyone who's eligible. Whether you've recently graduated high school, you're stuck in a job you don't love, or just wanting to learn new skills and earn more, CCOG has your back. Don't spend another day wishing for a new life. It's time to invest in you for free. Visit njccog.org today to learn more about a debt-free degree with CCOG.
Mom, there are so many things I want to do at Hershey Park. Coasters, water slides, chocolate milkshake.
That's why I booked the 2-day stay and play package at the official resorts of Hershey Park. We have time to hit the hotel pool and we get early access to the park. Book your getaway at HersheyPark.com.
From 30 for 30 Podcast and The Undefeated, the life and legacy of South LA rapper Nipsey Hussle. I'm Justin Tinsley, senior reporter for The Undefeated. In this 4-episode series, I explore the shared experiences of life as a black man in America with Nipsey's brotherhood of NBA players.
Life is a marathon. You got to keep it going.
Hustle and motivate. If that ain't like the ethos of being an elite athlete, I don't know what is.
This is The King of Crenshaw. Listen now, wherever you get your podcasts.
What's up, New Jersey? Do you want to go to college but feel like you can't afford it? The Community College Opportunity Grant will send you to college for free. That's right, a free degree for anyone who's eligible. Whether you've recently graduated high school, you're stuck in a job you don't love, or just wanting to learn new skills and earn more, CCOG has your back. Don't spend another day wishing for a new life. It's time to invest in you for free. Visit njccog.org today to learn more about a debt-free degree with CCOG.
Introducing Peacock, the new free streaming service from NBC Universal. It's hit movies, current shows, live sports, trending bits, and timeless hits. And that's why you can't not watch. Peacock. Watch for free, upgrade for more. Stream now at peacocktv.com. Law & Order SVU streaming now.
Thank you for visiting ChristopherMedia.net.
And by the way, since we're talking about people going, could you please stop that? I find it gross. Could y'all stop procreating? How about that? Stop. First of all, a lot of people need to stop recording themselves fucking and putting it on the internet. Y'all aren't porn stars. You don't look it. You can't fuck well on camera. It doesn't look good. I'm glad it feels good, but it doesn't translate to aesthetically pleasing. And that's most of these fucking women who these amateur porn stars I see. Second of all, stop producing fuck trophies. The fuck is wrong with you? Jesus Christ. Oh, I'm so great. I need to have a clone of me.
Unfortunately,
that's what that shit is.
Tax breaks.
Okay, then adopt. How many fucking kids are sitting in fucking homes being abused and housed like goddamn products in a warehouse waiting to be ordered via Amazon? But no, you got to have your perfect fucking clone of you. You got to pass on them blue eyes that 80% of the population has. Like, ooh, you're so fucking special. No, it's sorry. We're beyond that shit. Okay, this ain't fucking medieval times. You're not having your firstborn ain't gonna take over your throne when you die. You don't need to be able to trace direct bloodlines anymore. We've evolved as a society. That's what irritates me, because parents, usually the most self-righteous parents, it's because it's an extension of them. Let me tell you something. If you have a kid and you live vicariously through your kid, or you think that everything your kid does, no matter how old they are, I'm talking like, let's say your kid's 30 and you're 60 and your kid does something stupid like get a DUI, and you think somehow that it's all about them, is what I'm saying. Like these are the type of parents that are like, oh, you brought shame to the family. How about the fact they just fucked their life up for 7 years versus what the neighbors who you hardly make eye contact with when you check the mail think about the situation? You're a piece of shit. You're worried for the wrong fucking reasons. You don't care about your kid fucking up. You don't care if they're fucking their life up. You care what other people fucking got to say about it. That's horse shit. And there's too many fucking parents like that. Those aren't parents. Those are people looking for fucking trophies. They're looking for people to make them feel better about themselves. Yeah, don't procreate. I have no problem with that.
I literally know a couple in a trailer, friend of mine here in Kansas, that have told me they just had a kid, and it's for the tax break. They literally can't really afford to live the way they are.
Wow, sounds like this kid's gonna have a great fucking life.
No, he's not, and no, not even close.
That is literally. See, you just made my fucking point for. You gotta have a license to drive a car, but we can just bring life into the world. Fucking. That is. I'm going to find this person and sterilize both of them. That is not a fucking good reason to have a kid.
I agree.
We can't manage our money. Let's create a mouth to feed.
Dude, the sentimentality and the fetishizing of children to the point where, and I'm not talking about go out and fucking have them aborted. All right. There's plenty of options without ever fucking even bringing up abortion. And let me tell you something. If you come from a shit family and you're 14 and pregnant, I don't give a fuck if the father is 14 and ride or die. He's going to stick with you for the rest of his life. I don't care if you got that type of support from the father and the father's family. You bring that kid into a world, you are tremendously cutting that child's odds of any type of successful life by a fuck ton. Why? I can't give up my baby. I love it too much. But you don't love it enough to make sure it lives the best life it can.
Yeah, it's a selfish reason you're keeping it.
Okay, I'm not on this fucking whatever. Forgive me. I haven't been to Christ Lover camp in a while. Whatever psalm it is, love is patient, love is kind, love does not blah, 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 blah. If you really love something, you want the best for it. Just like if you really love something, you love it. If you really love something, you see all its virtues and all its flaws. And you love it in spite of its flaws and because of its virtues. Whatever. This is just pure, like you said, selfish fucking self-interest love. This is ego stroking on a level that's disgusting, because how many lives have been brought into this world because, I get all the attention when I'm pregnant. I get all the attention when I have the baby. Now the baby's 2 and no one wants to come over because it's a fucking demon piece of shit that I let fucking just run around in diapers for 2 fucking years, doesn't listen to anybody, and it's not so cute anymore. Now this is a problem. Congratulations, you're pumping out another fucking gas station employee.
Yeah.
And you're happy about it. You're okay with it. Fuck you, you should never have been a parent. Period. End of story.
You just pumped out someone who's going to end up living off the system in some way. Whether it's public assistance, whether it's jail. Because, also it's... how many studies have to come out with, like, kids with no structure fucking just... You're a statistic. Kids crave structure. Even the most obstinate kid craves structure. Why do you think school works so well?
Some of the best teachers, best adults I ever dealt with in my life as a kid, up to that point at least, were the ones who I walked in and I was the smartest person in the room, just ask me. And they were like, you may be smarter than me. Probably read a lot more books. Probably spot a lot more facts. But can you kick my ass? No. Then I guess you better shut the fuck up and do what the fuck you're told. And after I got over my nose being on a joint because I couldn't kick his ass, I actually learned something. And usually those ended up being the best fucking adults for me in my fucking pathetic, sad childhood.
Wasn't that Chris Rock too? But can you kick my ass?
Hey, bro, that's why I laughed till I squirted in my fucking underwear when I saw that. Because that is an dude, once again, man without a country. White people don't understand me and black people don't like me. But I got one foot firmly in both cultures. It's just poor culture is all it is, folks. Black, white, if you're poor, that's the great equalizer. I will keep saying that until people understand that. Seriously. And there's a complete difference growing up in a home surrounded by people who love you and are trying to set you up and to be in the best position to succeed, in a home where it's just pure fucking survival.
My ex-wife's WT growing up stories I'll put up against any hood story, because just change the players, change the names, change the surroundings, but the same shit's going on.
Yeah, if you're in Michigan and you just hear a story about a cookout that went bad, I ask one question and I can tell you, I know it's poor people immediately. Doesn't matter, because we can smell our own. But I'm like, white or black? Were they playing euchre or spades? Euchre is a white cookout.
Plus, too, poor people have public cookouts.
Yeah.
Rich people have cookouts, at their house.
On their property.
Yeah.
Yeah, with stuffed pig and beautiful meat and yeah.
Why not?
We're all like fucking BYOB and bring
BYO trees.
And bring some for me.
Well, then maybe my friends who I think are doing well aren't doing that well, because I've never seen a stuffed pig.
Once.
See, now my brother-in-law, with a stimulus check, bought a fucking ungodly-ass smoker barbecue. Looks like a fucking transformer. But goddamn, it's barbecue night every day over there now.
Oh, yeah. Buddy of mine, Scott, who I used to stay with, I think he has 3 smokers now. He has an electric smoker, an egg smoker that's shaped literally like...
Oh, yeah, the little green egg. Bill Burr talks about that all the time.
Oh, no, his ain't green. His is all uniformly black. He keeps it gangster with his shit.
It's none more black.
It's gangster over there in the barbecue pit over at the Scott house. But, and then he's got some other smoker that's like specifically for a certain type of smoking of a certain type of meat. And I'm like, bro, you're the guitar player who's got too much damn money. You got a pedal board that you're like, I use this for 2 seconds of one song. Then you don't need that pedal.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, how much you spend on that? $200. That's for 2 seconds, $100 a second.
Oh, I remember I bought a pedal I forget. It was a Korg, but it had like a whammy, a wah. It had like a phaser. It had a roto.
All in ones.
I just know I made sure I used everything in every song.
Fair enough.
I just made sure I was like, okay, if I'm going to use, or I just made sure I utilized everything on that pedal, because I'm making your point for you. I'm not buying shit I'm not using. Like if it was in my pedal, okay, we're finding somewhere to put this shit in there. I'm not.
No. I just have a hard on against multi-effect processor units. I very rarely find one. It does everything. Yeah, kind of adequately to poorly. Like if I could find one that does 3 things really good, and I can use those 3 things, I don't care if it like of the other 100 that it listed it doesn't do well.
No, we'll tell you. It was that's right. It was a whammy pedal. It might still be here somewhere, but I didn't use the wah on it because the wah on it sucked. Like I chained it to my fucking Crybaby because it's a fucking Crybaby.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm a Vox guy, but yeah, I got you. V878. That's me. That's my wah.
Oh, we can't hang out in the wah department.
Well, hey man, I want a Clyde Fullerton, but I don't have $300 fucking dollars 20 years ago.
It's Dunlop or bust, and I had that Jimi Hendrix Crybaby, the one where you could adjust the filter to how deep it could go.
Hendrix used a Vox.
No, I know, but I still had they called it the Jimi Hendrix model. It had the volume boost, and it had you could adjust the depth of the filter as well.
I'm well aware of that, but you understand that Digitech has a Jimi Hendrix pedal, and I'm like, oh, because Jimi Hendrix was playing digital modeling gear. In 1967, yeah.
Well, the technology even existed, of course.
Like, I swear to God, like, people were like, does it sound like it? Does it sound like... Did he use it on the album was one of the questions in the ad, in the comment section. And I was like...
It's just the same guy that was like, hey, the drummer from Nirvana looks like...
It kind of looks like the guy from Foo Fighters.
Same guy.
But Earl understands how dumb of a question that is, and he's not a guitar player.
Not even a little bit. I know 2 chords, folks. Real talk. I could play you every Rose. After that, yeah.
You might as well say Hendrix was using a Floyd Rose.
He was playing a Parker Nightfly.
Yeah.
Funny stuff. Did you guys hear that the baby's suing Nirvana?
Yeah, we talked about
Thanks for listening to the podcast that you weren't on for part of.
Thanks for showing up for the podcast on
time. Long story. Later.
Yeah. Anyways, let's get off this guitar shit. Shit. Oh, the article I sent you guys about the retired Marine officer who. Okay, I'm gonna piss everybody off. This is why I love this story, by the way, because he does piss everybody off with what he's saying. He's a retired Marine officer, retired captain, so automatically a lot of people, oh, fuck it, he's a right-wing fucking fascist, piece of shit, racist. No, he's a Democrat. And he's running for, like, councilman or something like that as a Democrat, very openly. And he basically said, you can put it at the feet of Biden because he was there when we fucking executed the draft strategy. But no matter what strategy we were going to use with our invasion, like we invade and stay strategy, this was going to happen. End of story. And he just broke it down. Don't be shocked that we left weapons there. We did it both the last 2 Iraq wars. When we invaded Iraq in 2003, our troops were sitting there looking at the blown out vehicles from the first Iraq war from 1991. They were still sitting there in the exact same fucking staging areas they were getting ready to go into fucking combat in. They hadn't even picked it up from the fucking last war. So this is why I'm like, maybe it's common knowledge to me and I just assume wrongly, I really shouldn't, that everybody understands this because military family, a lot of friends in the military. Apparently this is not common knowledge. People have flipped their shit and it's just like, you need to hear, yes, this is what your government does, folks. This is why I've never understood people who go, oh, why the fuck should we give money to poor people in our country? Oh, okay. Well, if we don't give it to our people in our country, take care of our own, we're going to use it to bomb people in other countries and create more people that hate us. Well, I'm fine with that. Why? Why are you okay with your tax dollars being used to kill and destroy instead of build up? And yeah, both negative and positive are going to come from it. Yeah, you're going to get rid of the people that you're going after if you're using drone strikes and this and that, and you invade a country, you get the people in power you want out. Problem is you create a power vacuum, and who's going to rush in? The people who have always rushed in, people who've been rushing in and fighting us and the Russians for 50 fucking years. And historically, people have been fighting over that piece of shit fucking area of land for, 3,000 years?
Yeah, it's not going to stop.
I mean, it's our own bullshit, narcissism, and American hubris that we even think we could have gone in there and done anything different. And the reality is, we never could have done anything different. One of the best quotes I heard about this was another retired Marine. He said, "We got the clocks, right? But they own the time. This is their backyard. They're waiting for us to leave. And then they're going to walk out of their house into their backyard and take back over their fucking country." That's it. And that's just if they're non-violent. If they're actively violent, those are the people that we've been fighting for 20 years. So there's even more people that came in once we pulled out that were just waiting. That were like, I'm not going to go out there and die in the streets, blow myself up. Fuck that. These Americans will eventually leave. And when they leave, we'll take the shit back over. We waited 20 years with Russia. We can do this again.
And they did. Even after they were like, no, we're not going to take... Like, that's what I find about, like, Biden's, like, surprised the terrorists aren't honest people. They were like, oh, no, you can leave. We're not going to take over. And what was it? Wasn't within hours? They took Kabul? Like,
yes.
They took the whole country.
Yeah.
But, dude, here's the thing. And this is what irritates me so much. And if you're one of these people, you're the fucking problem. Yes, you're the problem. I'm not going to tell you to do the work. I'm not going to tell you to do better. You're just a fucking idiot. And only you can realize that and fix that. This is the same fucking plan Trump had, just implemented a few months later. Yet all the fucking Trump maggots beating his fucking drum, all of a sudden because it's coming from Sleepy Joe, that's a fucking problem.
Rich? It's a different plan. It's same plan, same result, different plan.
Okay. Whatever. I'm not going to get into it with you, dude. Trump fucking ran on pull out of Afghanistan.
It's not about pulling out. It's how you pulled out, Ross. It's like
I'll just be devil's advocate here and just say you can say that all you want. Biden executed it. Doesn't matter who's planning. I mean,
yeah, but it was way wrong. There's a difference.
The history book, it's going to say Biden executed it. Doesn't matter who the fuck's plan it was. I mean,
yeah, let me ask you a question. Okay, what could have been different?
How you pulled out. You okay? Now I say that. Let me tell you how you pull out. You get everybody out. Okay, people that were there for 20 some years that you talk about, that were helping you, that were buying into the shit you were talking, and not just that, Americans, you get them out,
okay.
And then
Benghazi,
and I ain't even gonna talk about the fucking almost $1 billion shit that we've left there. I'm gonna talk about then you pull out the military, and then they can walk into their fucking backyard. You don't leave people behind. There are so many fucking SEALs on TV, and it's on every network. CNN, MSNBC, fucking Fox. I've watched them. The military men are talking about, give me 9 motherfuckers, and I will go over there and be like, nah, I ain't asking. I'm telling. We're taking these people home.
9 people? Like, these are probably the same assholes, though, that say you can lock them in a room with a fucking
SEAL, because I ain't going to do it.
Yeah, well, fuck you. I will say to them, like, really? Like, you're probably the type of asshole that thinks you'd lock yourself in a room with a lion and win. Really? You and 9 other guys are going to go over and take back Kabul? Shut the fuck up.
Honestly, Chris, hold on, because I'm about to fucking defend you, so don't say nothing and fuck it up. You got the pussy. Shut your mouth, Chris. You kind of want that in a Navy SEAL. You want that attitude.
No, I get it. No, I get it, but I also want my Navy SEAL to be grounded in reality.
Okay, but here's the deal.
He's not going to take back Kabul. He's going to get his people out.
He's talking about
the Americans, the translators, all of the high-ups, everything. He's going to get them all out.
No. I'm not doing this. I'm not sitting here and passing bad information.
So you versus the Taliban?
The difference is
9 of your friends?
The difference fucking is that when you take a small unit and use them to have surgical strikes of get in, get people, get out. That's what he's talking about. Not some Punisher fantasy where 9 motherfuckers in a Punisher uniform are walking down the streets going, Yeah, Americans here. Time to pay, motherfucker.
Well, he's selling it
That's
like that.
The fantasy. That's the fan. Yes. The one guy I saw who was talking that popping that good shit and talking all that mess about fucking that's what I do, motherfucker. Yeah, you're an idiot. You know you are either trying to get your ass in front of a camera so you can brand yourself up and make money off of the fact that you used to be a SEAL, or you're an idiot. Because I don't see how anyone else who's as highly trained as you and cannot understand that you ain't walking down the middle of the fucking street like Billy Badass in some fucking Tombstone remake set in Afghanistan. It ain't fucking there ain't gonna be no shootout to OK Corral where you're Wyatt Earp, and you know the motherfucker doesn't even want to be Wyatt Earp. He thinks he's Doc Holliday, and you damn sure ain't nobody's Huckleberry. So shut the fuck up.
This is the guy at the back of the fucking SEAL team.
Okay,
he definitely ain't the leader.
There are people who do fall through the cracks. Shitbirds do end up in positions they shouldn't be in. This guy, the guy, I don't know his name. I don't care to know his name. I watched the interview. I went into the interview with as open a mind as I have about anything else military. And as fucked up as this sounds, people are like, you're pro-military. I'm like, I'm pro people in the military on a case-by-case basis. Like, there's assholes in the military, and fuck them, I don't care. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't give a shit, you live or die. Just don't get good people killed. That's the problem. But, dude, surgical strikes, going in, having a plan, go in, extract somebody, get out, minimal fucking violence, blah, blah, blah. Yes, that is what fucking could be done for certain high-up people. But the problem is that these motherfuckers are selling fantasies of revenge fantasies, of kicking doors in and spraying a fucking room and getting some payback. Okay? That's the last thing we fucking need in this country, is that mentality in a situation like Afghanistan, because that's what got us into this situation.
And I'm going to have, I get my hot take button ready.
Go ahead.
No matter who was in charge and how we did it, this was still going to happen anyway.
That's what I'm saying.
No, the Taliban taking back over Afghanistan, 100% agree with you. However, the people that were left there that can now not get out and have died trying, literally fell off the fucking planes as they took off. Nah.
Yeah,
there was a way better way.
Guess what?
There was a way better way.
The Taliban was probably going to kill them.
You know what? Let me ask this question. If you're so worried about the fucking poor innocent civilians falling off the plane trying to get out of fucking Afghanistan when we were leaving, why weren't for 20 years worried about the poor innocent civilians dying and getting caught in the crossfire of a fucking war that we didn't need to fight at all? Why now all of a sudden is the right wing beating the drum about civilians? And I'm like, you didn't give a fuck for fucking 19 and 0.9 years. Now all of a sudden you care? I don't buy it, dude.
Well, it's the same.
I don't buy it.
Well, it's the same flip-flop, and you're now seeing that all of a sudden there's these dyed-in-the-wool military supporters on the left. Like, oh, really? Like, dude, it's like fucking the Supreme Court shit last year all over again. People are flipping sides with no fucking context of you were spouting the exact opposite shit a few weeks ago.
Now, see, I'm sitting here. It's not about left or right for me because I didn't have a choice whether we were there or not. I didn't have a choice. But now that we're leaving and he's so steadfast, he being Biden on his 31st of August deadline,
that's not his deadline. That's the Taliban's deadline. Taliban should be out by August 30th.
Don't even go there with me right now. How the fuck are we going to sit there and negotiate with the terrorist organization, dude?
I'll show you some video from 20 years ago that you're not.
And on top of that, yeah, you're right. But how the fuck does Trump get up at a fucking rally and say he has a very good relationship with the Taliban?
Trump has a very good relationship with the devil, dude. It's Trump, for fuck's sake. That doesn't surprise me, man.
The point, then it shouldn't surprise you.
Hang on. My whole point is I don't give a flying fuck what they say. I can't control what they do. But when you're telling me that you're leaving on this date and you've told the country and the whole fucking planet is going, dude, don't do this, and you do it anyway, you're fucking wrong, Haas. I don't care what side of the aisle you're on.
You need to turn your fucking TV off, dude. Seriously, turn it the fuck off. No, the whole world ain't saying that.
Really? Really?
Dude, there is overwhelming support for a decade now of people who were even aware that we're still fighting a war in Afghanistan, by the way. When polled, yes, to get the fuck out. Absolutely. 100%. I'll put everything on that. Look up the Pew fucking research. Until you do, don't have this conversation with me. It's horse shit. It's manufactured horse shit by the fucking media. Turn the fucking fear porn off. Because you feed your brain that shit. It's just like sitting around on your ass eating garbage, fucking junk food all day. Why is my foot falling off when I ate my 20th ho-ho of the day? I don't know, fat ass. Why is it? And I'm a fat fuck. And I'll tell you that. Dude, seriously, man. Come on, bro. I can't do this, man. If you're going to just parrot what you see on the fear, if you're going to just parrot what you see on fear porn, then all we got to do are play Fox News clips, and we got our third fucking host.
I don't care if it's the right thing to do or the wrong thing to do. One more time, I can't control what our government does or doesn't do. Okay? But what I do see on TV, I don't care what channel it is, that we've left people there, that it's just so wrong the way we pulled out.
What about all the people we killed the last 20 years that were civilians? What about those civilians?
Time, Chris, I can't control what
you give a shit about those civilians?
Don't care. Can't control.
Well, then why do you care about the ones trying to get out? You didn't care about them when we were there protecting them, quote unquote.
I did care, and I said something then about caring about those people. But one more time, I'm American nobody. I'm in the middle of our fucking country, and nobody knows my name. People on this podcast know me as Iceman, homie, and ain't nobody gonna listen to what I say when it comes to what we're doing or not doing across the East.
We barely listen to you.
Exactly. So when I see something that's just totally fucking wrong, like the way he pulled out, okay, whether he pulls out or not pull out, whether it's the right or wrong decision, I don't give a flying fuck. The way you pull out, I'm American nobody, and I can tell you the way he pulled out was completely fucking wrong.
All right, so let's play the game we were playing earlier. Okay, it's Trump's plan. Trump executes it. The exact same shit happens. You still give a shit?
Completely fucking wrong. If Trump did what Biden did, completely fucking wrong. All right? If FDR did it, if George motherfucking Washington did it, it's wrong, man. You tell everybody we're leaving, great. Get everybody out that needs to get the fuck out.
Okay. We're done identifying the problem. You identify the problem one more time, I'm changing the subject. Seriously. You've identified the problem for 20 minutes. What's the solution? How? And dude, realistically, don't come at me with some fucking Rambo 2 fantasy of getting revenge. Don't come at me with some fucking Missing in Action 3 fantasy of getting revenge. Realistically, how could we have pulled out and gotten everybody out that you wanted to get out? And by the way, once we get them out, especially the people like the interpreters.
Are you asking me how to?
Hold on, no, I'm not done. The interpreters, the people who fucking are in Afghanistan who worked with us, who we know would have been killed the minute we pull out. If we're taking them, where are we putting them?
Any country that's going to take refugees. Us, fucking Pakistan, Turkey, wherever they're taking refugees.
Hey, our governor says they're welcome here.
And not just that, they're still American. American citizens are still in Afghanistan.
But I'm not talking about American citizens, though. And you weren't talking about American citizens when you specifically said Afghan people who we've worked with.
Yeah,
we needed to get them out.
People, the interpreters.
Okay, so stop throwing up straw men. What do we do with those people? Just move them into here? Just bring them over here? Just automatically you've earned citizenship? Is that what you?
They're going to be refugees, and they have to go through the process. There's a process, but yeah, they're going to be here and go through the process.
See, this is what I'm saying. Okay, retarded men can make bold statements. An intelligent man actually fucking backs the shit up. If you're gonna come in here and swing dick like you got it like that, then motherfucker, you better be able to get the bitch more than 5/8 hard. I'm just gonna tell you, and that's what I'm looking for here, because all I hear is criticism from people about, well, we shouldn't have done it. What should we have done? Well, not that. That's not a fucking answer. Well, Trump wouldn't have. That's not an answer either.
Yeah, that's what about.
Now, I'm not saying you specifically, Earl. I'm just saying this is the problem. We get caught up in that bullshit instead of just going, No, I'm not fucking. I don't know what the fuck we could have done because it's a fucked up situation we should have never been in like we were.
It's stuff I've been screaming on Unregimented for years. We love to point out the problem. We don't offer solutions. I mean, I remember saying it to Aaron and you probably 1,000 times. At some point, rattling the pots and pans is just rattling the pots and pans. What's next?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I mean, dude, if you don't know, then say it. And I'm going to tell you, here's the deal. The people who hate you, who want to hate you, are going to hate you no matter what you fucking say. So pull true to yourself, be righteous, and say what the fuck is real. I don't know. And you know what? Neither do you. So why the fuck are we fucking bumping our gums about it like we're goddamn fucking MacArthur planning how to win the Second World War? I think we need to shut the fuck up unless we think we can offer some fucking solutions besides it's all fucked up and blah, blah, blah. We know it's all fucked up. It was going to be fucked up no matter what. We have 3,000 years of history to prove that. What made us think we were special? Did we start buying into the did our leaders start buying into the self-esteem movement?
Yeah. Actually,
is that what it is?
Oh, absolutely. Have you heard the left the last 5 years? Absolutely. Joe Biden, since he got the nomination? Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Look, the Afghan war, the Iraq war period is always going to be fucked up. You're 100%. All right? And you're asking me what to do about that. I can't help you. All right? Didn't study it. Don't do it. Ain't my thing. What I'm telling you is fucked up, and what needed to change is we had a foothold. We were there. We're good. Ain't nobody going to do anything while we're there. We're going to pull out. I mean, that's the choice that was made. Great. Get the fucking people out before you pull out.
Okay.
That's the only thing I'm telling you. And dude, doesn't take a scholar to fucking think.
You're right. That's not a conversation I'm interested in having. Like it's like people who study military history. They think that means studying battles. How did people win battles? That's part of it. But you know what the more important part of military history is? The run up to every war and how to avoid that and prevent that if possible in the future. And that's the lessons we don't ever fucking look at and learn. And I want to have that conversation. Now, maybe you need to edit this out, Chris. If we're incapable of having that conversation, I don't know why we need to go forward with this show. So everybody make up their minds. Like, I can't just sit here and do bullshit.
How to not have a war?
Bro, military history, okay? There's the run up to war, and then there's the war. Most people who focus on military history only focus on the battles because they're the ooh moments. They don't focus on the shit behind the scenes that ran up to war. And the people that do get shouted down by the motherfuckers who want to talk about, well, in the movie I watched about it. Oh, yes, because that's 100% accurate. It's a documentary, right? Like, come on, dude. You know this better than I do. You're a history major. People fucking cherry pick from history.
It's a funny thing. I'm talking about this, and Chris is like, ooh, and getting all over me. I'm like, dude, history major. But whatever.
But you know, and you have to, if you have any self-awareness, you know that you have your own blind spots in how you view the world. And self-awareness isn't not having those blind spots. Self-awareness is understanding you have them and trying your best to remove them. And sometimes they're instinctual. It's because of how we were raised or the environments we came up in. We can't help it. That's perfectly fine, dude.
Hold on. But it's everything. It's everything, Rich. It's not just the environments we came up in. It's the foundation of our country, quite literally. How do you stop war? Get rid of America. There you go.
Christ, man. I'm trying to lay out the ethos of the fucking show, in my opinion, and you're fucking here, you're wandering in the weeds over a fucking ball, dude. To me, the discussion is we're where we're at. Okay, a pragmatic mind looks at it. This is the situation we're in. How could we minimize the fucking damage? Did we fucking not minimize damage? Did we fuck up? Absolutely. Do I believe any other fucking jackass who got elected, I don't care who it is, pick, would have done any different? Ultimately, not really. Because I'm going to tell you what, if you care all of a sudden about the Afghan people and your political and you support a political party, they'll go ahead and parade their token Afghan people they got out as the shining examples. The problem is you're seeing the top 1% of most people's situation trying to get out of Afghanistan. And yeah, the Americans that are left over there, let me ask you a question. How many of them are private contractors? Why the fuck are the private companies not getting their fucking people out?
It's the $1 million question. Yeah.
Thank you. Crickets. Hello.
Maybe they can't.
See, but no. Let's watch fear porn and let's watch fucking deranged former Navy SEALs who are probably a fucking joke on their SEAL team sit there and talk about their revenge fantasies of holding 50 cals in each fucking arm, walking down the street, screaming like Sylvester Stallone at the end of Rambo 2.
I was literally about to ask, like, who are you, fucking John Rambo?
But that's bullshit, bro. Anybody who's seen real combat knows. You know who romanticizes combat? People who've never fucking seen it. You understand when you fight in a fucking life or death situation, a average person, not even well-adjusted, understands. Whoa, this needs to be an absolute last resort. This should not be our first option. Is to destroy lives and countries by just rushing in and trying to, at the threat of violence, impose our will upon people.
Thank you for visiting ChristopherMedia.net.
Hear that? That's the sound of a cool, delicious McCafe iced coffee. Loaded with robust flavor and aroma. And that's the sound of McDonald's new Southern-style sweet tea. Sweetened to perfection. Now you can get either drink, any size, for only $1.49 each. Now that's refreshing. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. McDonald's, I'm loving it. Price and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal.
What's up, New Jersey? Do you want to go to college for free? If there's anything the pandemic has taught Americans and the people of New Jersey, it's that we have to be adaptable and stop putting off our plans for the future. So whether you've recently graduated high school, stuck in a job you don't love, or simply wanting to learn new skills and make more money, the Community College Opportunity Grant can help you secure a life-changing opportunity. Accelerate your path to wealth and opportunities today by visiting njccog.org to learn more about a debt-free degree with CCOG.
Thank you for visiting ChristopherMedia.net.
Go ahead.
I want to go historic on you because that's what you asked. I'm not a fan of spreading democracy. I'm not. Our system, I mean, it kind of works for us, not really, but it is what it is here in America, and
works better than most.
And that's your opinion. And
so give me a better one. Give me something that works better.
Hold on.
Not going there.
Please let him make his point. Let him make his point.
I'm not a fan of invading a country to spread our way of life. So how do you stop wars? Literally, when I said get rid of America, that's how you stop it. Because we're not going overseas anymore to stop Napoleon from trying to conquer the entire world. We're not going overseas to prevent Hitler and the Nazi regime from killing 6 million people at once. We're not going anywhere anymore to stop death, to stop a maniac, to stop a person and an ideal of a group. We're not doing that anymore. We're going to countries for economic growth. We're going to countries for an idea that our way of life is the best, as Chris just put it, and we're going to make you abide by it or else. Literally swinging our dick. All right, that's why we go. We don't go anymore to say stop killing.
What's your basis for that statement? Because we went to Afghanistan in response to 9/11. And we also went into Iraq in response to 9/11. Now I know that's what we were.
A response to 9/11 is taking care of the motherfuckers that brought down the tower.
Now we're
all right. Number one, number two.
We're straying into your opinion.
No. I'm done because I'm talking about fucking history. We are responsible for
9/11. We've strayed into your opinion, Earl. We have strayed into your opinion.
It's not our fucking opinion, dude. Do you think for 2 seconds that those fucking people come to this country and bomb those towers and anything else they were going to hit with planes if we don't bomb them first?
No, they actually
answer that one.
They actually came because we bailed on them in the 80s after Russia decided they weren't going to fuck with Afghanistan.
Dude, we have
and we left their country.
The Middle East for fucking years, Hoss.
Okay, Pakistan isn't in the Middle East; it's in Asia. Middle East is
Israel,
Israel, Syria.
All years.
Okay, history major. The reason 9/11 happened is because in the 80s we pulled out of Afghanistan and we pissed them off.
Come the fuck on. Get out of that. Now who's watching the fear porn?
That is what
No,
okay.
dude. Bullshit. There are people
I'm gonna
over
go put my
there
laundry in the
that
dryer.
are having fucking weddings, and the next thing you know, boom, bombs fall from the sky. How many times, dude? It doesn't matter. I use this analogy all the time for 9/11. How many times, if you're a dog, do you get slapped? Do you get beat? Before you're like, you know what, I'm going to get put down, but I'm biting a motherfucker on my way out. That's who those people are. That's what 9/11 was.
Can I ask you a question? Why does every scenario you pose have to be a zero-sum game?
Because
Why
it
can't-
was, dude.
Okay.
Because that shit happened.
It's not
towers
possible.
fell.
It's okay. You done? Okay. Why can't people hate us because we fucking stuck our nose in their business and because we fucking pulled out and left them fucking hanging?
I'm so not doubting that that's 100% true.
Okay.
But that is no way can I think that is a reason that somebody's like, you know what, fuck it, I'm biting somebody on my way out.
Do you understand that the way you present your side is this is the only reason this is happening, and you automatically put people on the defense with how you came at them? Because, dude, I'm sitting there listening to you and Chris's exchange going, dude, that's both reasons that they fucking hate us.
No, I'm not talking about the reason they hate us. Everybody hates everybody in this world for a different reason. But why are you going to put your life on the line? Why are you going to commit suicide? Not just because you hate a motherfucker, not because you don't agree with them. Why are you going to go to the extent of, I'm out? Peace out, I'm going to meet Allah or God or whoever the fuck.
Don't you remember all those pictures of George Bush and Osama bin Laden floating around after 9/11? Like George Bush was the head of the CIA.
In 1988 when he was flying around. And we loved that man. Talking about Osama bin Laden.
Yeah.
All right? Because he was going to help us against Iran.
We trained him. No, he was going to help us against Russia. We trained him. We taught him what he knew as far as military tactics. And then we bailed on him as soon as Russia didn't become a threat, and that pissed him off. That has been documented. That is a fact.
Right. And you think he came over and had people give their life because we bailed on him?
It's what turned their attitude against the great Satan. Chris. It's what turned their attitude against the West.
Chris, you were away from the mic in the headphones for a sec. This is what I'm saying. Stop presenting shit like there's only one solution, dude. Both of you guys are right. Okay, be like, oh, it's because we bailed on them. That's enough for them to kill themselves. That coupled with they're raised in an environment of religious absolute extremism, and if you give your life for the higher cause, you're more rewarded in the afterlife, and probably other fucking factors, mental illness, that the individual, they don't just fucking go, hey, you're gonna blow yourself up. They find people who they're like, ooh, he's ripe for the picking, and they fucking prepare him. It's just like how organized crime and gangs get you desensitized to violence. They start you off, and you should know this, you grew up in the hood enough, they start you off, you're beating the ass of people who deserve it. Hey, that's the motherfucker who robbed old lady whatever down the street. That's the motherfucker who was touching so-and-so's kid. Let's go kick the shit out of that motherfucker. So you feel good with it. You almost feel like you did something good. Mm-hmm. It's conditioning, okay? We call it grooming now, but it's the same fucking thing. It's just this generation is obsessed with renaming everything because nothing can come before it. They don't. That's whatever. Sorry, that's an Earl type fucking aside. I'm sorry, audience, but dude, seriously, like stop this shit. I can't do it. We are all more intelligent than this. And when you present shit like everything is a zero-sum game to where, no, it's or either or, and that's it. That has to be it. We're starting off in bad faith, and I'm not having that conversation. So we have to either be self-aware on this show, or we need to fucking figure out something else. I don't know. Ball's in your court at this point. I fucking stated my case.
Rich, there's never a zero-sum game in anything.
Thank you.
I mean, okay, let me restate. Rarely is there a zero-sum game in anything.
There's rarely a zero-sum game that's not manufactured to be that way.
When it comes to the topic at hand, to this, I would say hundreds of factors. Hundreds. But I'll tell you this, Chris, there are many people, many, many, many people around the planet that hate the United States of America for many, many, many different reasons.
A lot of them valid, a lot of them bullshit.
Totally. And I'll even give you one better. There's probably a couple of people that would really want to attack us. If they could, they would.
Who?
But when you get an enormous amount of people that hate us so much that they have devised a great plan to cripple the country to actually be able to attack us on our own soil, you have to really look at what you've done to those people.
Dude, here's one of the things about freedom that a lot of people who espouse the virtues of freedom don't even understand themselves. If you truly believe in freedom, you have to give someone the freedom to be a slave. If they choose to live as a slave, that's their choice. And if you truly believe in freedom, if you willingly put your neck and bend it down so they can put the shackle on you, so fucking be it. You've chose your destiny. There's nothing I can do for you. Because, dude, some people, we were talking about this before you got on the show. See, it kind of pays off to show up on time sometimes. Dude, kids crave structure. Some kids even crave discipline. And I'm not talking about in that weird kid that we all know that grew up to be at the BDSM club when he got older. I'm talking like they need it. Some people, some societies it's so ingrained in their society, they can't understand. You have told this story. We have most of the same friends. It's just you weren't around to hear these stories. These people in these countries don't understand our elected leaders are elected leaders. They think they're dictators who get in power by taking power grabs because that's all they understand. They're processing us having, for the sake of argument, a democracy, and we can vote on our leaders. The only way they can process that is, oh, well, this person is the great leader, proper noun status. We want to build statues of Leader Bush. And it's like, no, man, you don't understand. That motherfucker's only got a couple more years and he's done. Because Saddam wasn't going nowhere till we showed up. That's how dictators work, man. I'm sorry, when did Castro leave? When he died. I mean, it's Papa Doc, Baby Doc shit over there in North Korea. They're handing that down like a party joint through the generations. Remember during COVID when they thought that whoever the fuck, whatever Ing Jong fuck up or whatever is in charge, that he might have had COVID and died and his sister was going to take over, and they started like on the news profiling his sister about how, crazy and mean and violent she is. And I'm like, wow, man, they had her dossier on standby. Like, we know what they're going to do, dude. These are people who don't fucking understand freedom, democracy, the choice. They don't. Would you like to do this? Would you like to do this? Would you like to do nothing? They get paralyzed. So you can't spread freedom, true freedom, via the threat of violence. That's not how that works. You're imposing your will upon someone. That's not freedom. So this whole thing, we're over there to free them. No, we're not. We're over there to open up fucking markets for businesses. We use that as a sandbox to train our veteran soldiers in a low fucking intensity conflict, or low intensity conflict. We got them trained in new weapon systems. We left all the old weapon systems. Trust me, the next war we get bogged down in, we're going to be hearing about all the new shit they got. And we talked about this last week. But apparently some people still need to hear this shit. Dude, come on, man. We're not this stupid, guys. We can understand this shit, right?
We're victims of everything we've talked about. Conditioning, training, we go kill Osama because he attacked America. We go kill Saddam because he killed these people or that. And you think and our soldiers think they did great things. And then you go to invade a country like Afghanistan. Why? And you just said why. So
we went through it last week, dude. We laid out fucking a bunch of fucking possible reasons, man.
Right.
The fact that they produced 95% of the world's opium or poppies.
Right. So now I go back to my very first statement about this whole thing when we kicked it off. How do you eliminate war? Get rid of America. It's plain and simple.
Really?
Man.
Really?
So
we're the entire planet, we're the only aggressive country.
We're the only country that will invade a country.
Really?
We're the only country at the top of the fucking trash heap who will do it. And the minute we're not at the top, that vacuum will not exist for half a fucking nanosecond. And someone will step in and gladly take over the number one spot.
Give us a list of the countries we have technically invaded, that we have actually invaded.
Kuwait, Iraq.
That's not invading.
Afghanistan.
I said that if we have actually invaded. I'm talking about like fucking Germany in World War II type of invading.
I'm going. stop me when I'm wrong.
Okay, so they're all U.S. territories now? Because
No,
you say
that's
invading,
not why we invaded them. That's actually, funny enough, that's one of the reasons we didn't invade them. We didn't go to conquer them.
then that's not invading.
That's not the American way,
Then
my
that's
friend.
not invading. You've made a poor word choice.
What would you call it?
Occupying?
Same thing.
Dude, fuck you. No, invading is what Germany did to Poland. Like, fuck that. No, invading is what Japan tried to do to us. That is invading.
Okay, can we end the show, because I can't get into a pedantic argument for the next 10 minutes. Or I mean, I'd rather just end the show than and piss away our last 10 minutes than sit here and argue over the definition of a fucking word. Because I'm sorry, Earl, bro, you got to get over this fucking. I have to fight till my last breath to be right, even if I know I'm fucking wrong, dude. It doesn't matter. Okay, what is the end result? What's the situation we're in? How did we get up to this situation? Those are things that get lost in all this bullshit. You see what I'm saying? Do you understand? Do you honestly understand me? Or are you sitting there going, I kind of get it, but I kind of don't? Just be honest. And that's all I ask. Because if I'm completely out here coming from left field playing this game on my own on an island, so fucking be it. But I know a lot of other fucking people who are saying the same shit as me, who I didn't even know existed until recently. And I've been saying this shit for fucking years, man. I mean, this is what's irritating about this. Like, well, this whole conversation started off, I'd send in fucking big dick fucking Mike Lowry, Navy SEAL, to go get in there and get some payback. Get my peoples out. Really? That's fantasy. It's not happening. And now we're sitting here arguing about the fucking definition of what the word invading means. And do we need to get? Why don't we just grab a thesaurus? End the fucking debate. I'm not, dude. Come on, man.
Dude,
this shit killed unregimented. Do you want to do this show or not?
Tell me the last time America went into a country. I don't care what fucking verb you use. The last time America went into a country to stop a madman. For a good fucking reason.
Iraq.
World War II.
Thank you.
Iraq, Afghanistan. Did we not catch bin Laden and Hussein?
We had to occupy.
Did we not catch bin Laden and Hussein?
We had to occupy an entire country for that.
So what? We just mailed it in with World War II? We just stayed here and did it all from here?
No. Stop that. You said bin Laden and Saddam Hussein. We had to occupy an entire fucking country for one guy, two guys?
Yeah, we did. We did it in World War II.
All right.
Okay, what we did. The reason I don't. The reason I.
Done.
What do you mean? There's still army bases in Germany right now. What are you fucking talking about?
The reason I don't consider fucking taking Saddam out is because solving problems that we created is called cleaning up behind yourself when you're done cooking. Okay, we didn't fucking go over and destabilize Germany and make fucking the rise of Hitler ripe to happen.
I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna be done with this whole conversation. Do whatever you guys want to do, chase topics, end show, whatever. There was a point in time in this country when we sat here in America and did our fucking thing, made things, prospered, went to beaches, had freedom, loved motherfucking life, and just enjoyed what we were earning as individuals here in this country. Sometimes you got to cut a motherfucker. Sometimes we had to go out and put in some work. And it was extremely bad.
How did we
went and we did. And then we would come back home and we would sit in our fucking chair and again earn our fucking living and enjoy what we had. We did not. And I'll tell you this, we did not go to countries just because of one motherfucker.
Okay.
And just occupy it and chill and promote our way of life. There was a time in this country when we were just sitting here, Chris, just toking down a joint, loving the way America was.
So when you move into Toronto?
Dude, okay.
Don't fucking tempt me, goddammit.
What the fuck? Okay, first of all, what the fuck, man? I'm sorry. What the fuck does that have to do with anything on what we're talking about? What are you talking about? Going to the beach, smoking a weed, enjoying America? A righteous fucking war. When's the last time? I'm the only one that fucking answered and backed it up.
The question actually was asked, when was the last time we went to go after a madman? Now, if the question was asked, when's the last time we fought a righteous war, I would have had a different answer.
I don't consider Saddam a madman. Saddam was doing exactly what the fuck a dictator does. Dictators don't necessarily need to be madmen. Saddam was like, oh, you're going to do what I say. No, we're not. Then I'm going to kill you. That makes sense. A madman's like, let me find a group of people and start crazy medical fucking genetic experiments on them and look for fucking ancient fucking shit in the Bible. Like, that's literally what Hitler was doing. That shit is not just in fucking Raiders of the Lost Ark. That motherfucker was obsessed with the occult. He was fucking crazy.
Yep.
Korea, proxy war. Because we don't have the balls, and Russia didn't have the balls to have a fucking flat-out land war with us. Vietnam, proxy war. Iraq,
oil war.
The first Iraq, oil war. Second Iraq, oil war. Afghanistan, going in to get hold of a fucking region rich in natural resources. Oh, and by the way, we just seized a fucking country who produces, I said 95%. I believe it's like 80%, somewhere around there. Sorry, I was putting 100 on 10. I do fucking apologize. Dude, are they justified? I guess if you're looking at we're trying to put more money in our pocket and we don't care about the lives that we ruin, yeah, you're justified, but you're also a fucking psychopath. I mean, a madman, to me, has to be someone more than just grabbing power. A madman has to grab power with a special type of insane zealotry behind it. Okay, fair enough. You know what? I'm wrong. I consider Osama bin Laden.
What's if you're going to throw in insane zealotry? Ding, ding, ding.
Yeah.
Bin Laden.
Okay. Then right there. There you go, folks. See how easy that is, guys? In other words, Earl, I argued myself out of my own point, recognized it, immediately fucking accepted it, and moved on. That's how adults have conversations.
Ta-da.
Can we try that next episode? Because we were kind of doing that before you joined this episode, bro. Just saying. Can we not make grand declarations like it's the word of God, theirselves, himself, herself, itself, whatever the fuck?
And I fall for him every time because I take the bait every time.
No,
because I don't want the grand statements made. I don't like that shit. I want you to back up your grand statement. Well, we've played that game in chat 100 times. You make some sweeping broad statement, and I go, okay, based on what?
Look, I do not like what the country has become, my
friend. Then move, man. You are a free.
I'm thinking about it. I'm giving it some thought.
How about this? How about we stop the move shit because we ain't moving anywhere while fucking the border's shut down anyways. How about then? What are you doing on any level? What ideas do you have?
I have 1,000 ideas, but it doesn't matter. One more time, I am Joe America in the middle of the country that nobody knows. But on a podcast where I'm asked my opinion, I'm gonna tell you.
Yeah,
this
great.
is some bull fucking shit.
We all know your opinion, but and here's the problem, dude. Sorry, you're the new guy, okay? And like we did a show for 7 years where everybody stated their opinion, and it got to the point where that's all the fuck we did. There was no nuanced conversation. We got so bogged down in the few things we disagreed on that we fucking pissed all over everything we did agree on. And on top of that, we stopped having conversations that went deeper than, that side bad, me side good. I'm not interested in that. I'm just not. I'm sorry.
Go back to how it used
Stop. Let me finish, listeners. If you are, I'm sorry. I'm not your podcast. I'm not going to be on that podcast. Sorry, I did, and it just ends up with a bunch of fucking hurt feelings and a bunch of bullshit. And there are more nuanced and intelligent conversations to have. If you have no interest in it, then say it. If you fucking scared, say it. Don't fucking front and waste anybody's time.
I want to go back to the way it used to be, where we build shit. We don't build anything anymore, man. All this country is working to fund people to go overseas and fight for new shit and spread shit.
But what do you mean build shit?
Shit?
That isn't our economy anymore. Build. You can use build in a metaphorical sense.
Chris. It's not who we are anymore.
Well, that's where
we are a people that fund the fucking military to go overseas. That's who we are.
Well, I don't get what you say by build shit. What do you mean build shit?
Like, we used to build cars. We used to have innovative technology. We used to have ideas that we built shit here, man.
Well, the labor union sent all the cars overseas, and technology, we got Silicon Valley, but there's other parts of the world that whip our ass at that.
I don't like what we've become. That shit. I don't like it. I want to go back.
Well,
we can't.
But society
That's
as a
why
whole, like manufacturing
Rich
is
wants to know my
dying.
ideas. Where can we get better? There. That's where we get better. And it'll never be that way because it's more than just a power grab. It's a fucking money grab. And if you go back that way, they will never do it. Ever. It is a perfect machine that started in 1980. And they have built it, and it is a beautiful thing for the motherfuckers in D.C. And they'll never go backwards.
Well, congratulations on learning what you should have learned in high school. When the government takes from you, dude, it only comes back in blood. Blood has to be spilled. That's why people, there's people that take it too far, but these people who are like, hey, you're overstepping your fucking bounds. Those people who know they're overstepping their bounds will start throwing out shit like, oh, that's a logical fallacy. That's the slippery slope fallacy. No, that's a fact at this point. Do we need to point out in all the ways it's a fact? From all over the political spectrum? How many times once someone got their grubby little one finger in the pie, all of a sudden they had to have their entire fucking ball sack in the motherfucker? Because there's plenty of, come on, dude, we're all intelligent enough to know in our lifetimes we've seen it happen. Look at where we're at in society. We've went from telling each other lies about in fairy tales about fucking people in the sky and talking snakes and burning bushes that have conversations and shit to telling lies about basic fucking biology. Why? Because the first time is to save our souls. Now it's to spare people's feelings.
I don't disagree with anything you just said.
I'm sorry. Like, dude, we're capable of being much better. I'm sorry we're having a band meeting on the air, or band meeting. That's how ingrained that is in my head. Whatever. Fuck it. I'll run with it. Band meeting on air. But maybe people need to see what goes on behind the scenes here. Because I don't want this to be a fear porn podcast. I don't want this to be a podcast you tune into and root for motherfuckers arguing against each other. I mean, we can all disagree and do it in a way that's more intelligent than fucking finding the one good soundbite that you ejaculated out of your cock holster and repeating it at louder and louder volumes at each other for 3 hours. I'm not interested in that. So come on, man. Let's get on board here. Seriously. Like, dude, God damn it. I know we're better than this.
Oh, is this where we enact a no hyperbole rule?
It'll last for about 2 seconds next show.
Yeah. Ice. We have to come up with levels of probation for you if we enact no hyperbole. Double, secret, quadruple, octuple probation.
Telling stories, sometimes, you put 100 on 10. I get it. But there's certain shit when we're talking about, you don't fucking jack up the fucking drama. There's enough drama there. The fact that you jack it up says more about you than what you're trying to call out. You have enough evidence, but you still feel the need to plant it. That's what essentially you're doing when you just focus on the fucking the one, like you get stuck on one thing. I mean, dude, once again, I listen to you guys go back and forth, and I'm like, you're both right. The people that hate us as a country hate us for multiple reasons.
Oh yeah.
And this is a problem. I've had this problem. Real quick, that article I shared about the whole fucking, people coming out and saying that like the whole fighting Irish Notre Dame thing was like, an offensive, blah, 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 blah. Dude, that hit right in my wheelhouse because it pissed me off. Who the fuck are you cocksuckers to presume to speak for me, you presumptuous little shits? I am very capable of speaking for myself. How the fuck dare you fucking speak for me when no one asked you to? And that's what I was upset about. But what hooked me was they finally found something that tugged at the right part of my wheelhouse. And then when I realized that I was reacting to that instead of going, no, they only speak for them fucking selves. These are people trying to speak on my behalf that I never asked to. Fuck that.
Well, the problem is,
there's offended by it.
There's a couple generations below us now that are all about that. Because remember, when we were remember the South Park episode? We were in our 20s. We talked about Jesse Jackson is not the spokesman for black people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, that's the Gen X mindset. It's not the generations below us. I mean, I was listening to Adam Carolla the other day, and there was some writer said something about Indian food online, and people went nuts because he's apparently a racist now because he doesn't like Indian food. And the chick who hosts Top Chef, what's it, Padma Lakshmi or whatever fuck her name is, said, on behalf of 1.8 billion people, allow me to say, and then I'm with you, like, if I'm one of those people, like, hey, I don't recall electing you for you to be the conduit for my opinions. Fuck off. But there's two generations now that they're fine with that. Like, go look through Twitter, and there'll be so many. No, on behalf of all black people, on behalf of all blank people, on behalf of all POC, like, and people are just fine with that.
I'm gonna quote something that is said in certain parts of the military. You can only take care of your own AO being area of operation. I can't worry about if other people choose to give freely their personal autonomy up to let a fucking idiot speak for them on their behalf. But I damn sure don't have to stand up or not stand silent and be like, well, if that's what fucking a Twitter poll said, then that's how it must be how all people of Irish descent and Irish people feel. No, it's not. Dude, they don't give a fuck. First of all, I'm going to tell you what. In my experience, most motherfuckers who's still back in Ireland, even Northern Ireland, that's part of the, whatever. No geography lesson today. They don't give a fuck. They think there's a lot of dumb shit that's done over here in their name, and they're like, that St. Patrick's Day? You mean a normal day? Like you motherfuckers think that that's what we do? But that's just a normal day. Like y'all drink to the point of death, but we just drink every day.
Like, hey man, that's Tuesday. Culture. Yeah.
It's like wine. It's like wine at dinner for Italians. Kids drink wine at dinner. It's certain parts of Italy, wine is almost considered part of the fucking food. Like it's a course. So I mean, we're talking about different cultures here and shit, and they don't care. But I realized in all my anger, I was like, God damn it, they caught me with that bullshit. And I'm constantly on the lookout for it. But I'm self-aware enough to fucking call myself on it and correct myself. And that's why I took down what I fucking posted, because I realized they're taking shots in the dark, and they finally found something that riled me up about this shit. Because let's be honest here. Who's Irish? Mostly white people. Okay? We've been dividing people up into groups for going on a decade now and getting them slowly all on the woke train.
Agitation propaganda, man.
I guess it's the Irish people's turn. And what better way? What's the largest people of Irish descent are one of the largest groups of white people in this country. So if the propaganda is aimed at them, now they're outraged like I got outraged. Because it's an instinctual outrage when someone speaks on my behalf or puts words in my mouth, that enrages me. Like,
absolutely, yes. It's someone who's going through a divorce. Absolutely.
Yeah,
but
you get what I'm saying.
But I tell you, if you can hear our voice, it's not on the network anymore. But Escaping the Cave, it's our acquaintance Todd. It's his podcast. He had an arc about propaganda and agitation propaganda. Once you listen to that, you'll never look at the news and social media the same way again.
Absolutely. And by the way, there's nothing shameful with getting caught up in it in the moment. And there is no, do you really want to post this button on social media? Okay. So yeah, you're going to have some cringy takes. You're probably even going to post them, whatever the fuck. The shame is when you realize what you've done and how you've been had is doubling down and staying the course because you're too fucking prideful and ignorant and fucking petty to admit, God damn it, they got me. It happens to the best of us.
Rich, that post actually showed me something. It's not only did they speak for you, they said, are you upset about this? Well, you should be, and allow me to speak for you on it. What? I should be upset about the leprechauns, and you're going to speak for me because I didn't know to speak for me? Really?
Well, I mean, then the people that came out in defense of it was the Fighting Irish was a negative stereotype the British had about us, and we flipped it around and took it back. And I'm like, really? Is this going to be our N word? Is it going to be the FI phrase? Like, you can't say it unless, you got so much ginger in you. Really? How much is enough Irish? Is one drop enough? I mean, but once again, like I said, gut reaction. But it wasn't because they're going after something like that, because I know for a fact, as a rational human being, no one of Irish descent or lives in Ireland gives a fuck about that shit. You don't like it? Fuck you. We don't care. Bro, we're Catholic. Do you understand how much don't give a fuck comes along with being Catholic?
Oh, yeah. Denial and repression are ways of life.
Abso-fucking-lutely. Irish cuisine is you boil everything till you can suck it through a fucking straw. Okay?
And you've talked yourselves into thinking it's delicious.
Yes. Yes. Dude, like, you think we're bothered because someone doesn't like us? If you live through the Troubles, you don't give a fuck what anyone on Twitter's got to say about Notre Dame's fucking mascot. That's all there is to it, dude. You have lived through real bullshit. You still might live in a neighborhood where there's peace walls separating the Protestants and the Catholics, like they're fucking cats and dogs that can't get along when they're just humans who believe in the same God but worship him differently. Madness!
I got to give them credit, Rich, because when they were fighting with, the Black Hawk and the Redskin and all the, shit that actually was real, I was like, this is funny. This is fucked up. Okay. But now they went after something that's completely a fairy tale. It's not even real.
Yeah, it's like getting mad at My Little Pony because they use magic.
That's like, I put it to you guys in your wheelhouse. Every musician I know is pissed off and boycotting every song made by the Monkees. They're not even a real group.
Yeah, what are you mad that Neil Diamond wrote their biggest hits? I can't stand that fuck Neil Diamond. I don't care what Turk says on Scrubs. Like, it's ridiculous.
Pop my ass.
No, I know, and that was a good line, actually, because it took me a second to realize what you were trying to say, but I was like, oh, I get it, because they're a bullshit group.
Yeah, not even real.
Yeah.
See, there you go, and that's a good note to end the show on. A happy note.
Yeah.
All right. So
we somehow brought it back around.
Yeah. So thank you if you're still with us. We're still figuring out what we are. It's Rich and I were talking about this earlier. The show's still finding its footing. We're still evolving in what we're going to be. So we're going to have episodes that are all over the place till we settle into our groove. But that's the fun. That's the fun of it. We're still on social media under the unregimented stuff, just because I think it's got to be like 60 days or not. Fucking, it's dumb. It's once you. Yep. Yeah. This is. Because if
Facebook bullshit.
If I wanted to start new accounts with the name, I could, but because I want to transfer them over, it takes fucking forever. I don't know. It's Zuck and Jack working in tandem to fuck us. But hey, it's just wherever you listen to us rate us, review us if you like the show. Hit the PayPal button in the Amazon banner on Christopher Media if you want to help us out. And until then, we'll catch you next week.
All right, later, guys.
Peace out.
There's some whores in the house. There's some whores in the house. I said,
At Total Wine & More, expert guides like me can help you make the most of summer. If you're grilling burgers, add blue cheese and pair with Carbon Cabernet Reserve, rated 92 points.
Wondrous selection, expert guides, totally low prices. Total Wine & More.
At Total Wine & More, expert guides like me can help you make the most of summer. If you're grilling burgers, add blue cheese and pair with Carbon Cabernet Reserve, rated 92 points.
Wondrous selection, expert guides, totally low prices. Total Wine & More.
At Total Wine & More, expert guides like me can help you make the most of summer. If you're grilling burgers, add blue cheese and pair with Carbon Cabernet Reserve, rated 92 points.
Wondrous selection, expert guides, totally low prices. Total Wine & More.
Thank you for visiting ChristopherMedia.net.